Welcome to the fantasy audiobook. Doomsday Game. Opening Awakening SSS Level Anti-Armor. Chapter 61. Vice President. So we have the absolute upper hand now, and the other three guilds have to look at our faces. Wang Hansheng. Now those three companies will definitely start a war with each other, or form an alliance, otherwise they will not be our opponents. Let's wait and see. The chance of this battle order being dropped is too low. Wang Hansheng directly smashed all the guild supplies into the arms reincarnation pool, and now he has two types of arms, one for melee combat and one for long range. In the end, Wang Hansheng was reincarnated with 80,000 flame archers and 50,000 colorful tigers. The reincarnation of the colorful tigers required less materials than the flame archers. Now the Yuxia Guild has 120,000 flame archers and 50,000 colorful tigers, but the average level is low. The Zhao Yuan team in the copy also saw this regional announcement. Xu Yushan said in surprise, "How long has it been? It's been a very exciting day, isn't it? 5 hours in the morning, the Flame Demon invaded, and in the afternoon, a Huahu Guild was forcibly disbanded. Why do I feel that our guild's 7-day protection period is not enough?" Yun Ning was not too surprised. When the foreign enemy dies, civil unrest will naturally start, and the 5 major guilds want to defeat each other, and then steal all the guild materials and arms. But it's really too fast. Are you prepared? These people are really reluctant to let their guild units suffer when they fight the Flame Demon. Zhang Wen. So what does Yusha look like now? Guild battles, like Cataclysm events, will open the battlefield rankings, and players on the winning side can finally exchange their points for rewards. The Yuxia Guild has been greatly improved whether it is a player or a guild unit. Zhao Yuan leaned back on the seat and responded. Old balances are broken, and new balances are established. Now Huahu is forcibly disbanded, and the Yuxia family is the dominant one. The remaining 3 can either choose to form an alliance or start a guild war again to create a force that can compete with Yuxia. But we are still in the protection period of the new guild, it is absolutely safe, so let them mess around. No matter which side is left in the end, our guild will defeat it and concentrate all the supplies in our hands. Maybe it will soon reach the 5th level guild. Zhang Wen. We feel a little overwhelmed. Although we have arms of light gold quality, the development time is too short and it is difficult to form a scale. During the conversation, everyone suddenly felt that the gravity was out of control for a moment, and the weight of the mechanical tank was too heavy, crushing a layer of ice. The tank entered an icy downhill section and slid rapidly. The 4 fell into the tank and finally stopped abruptly. It was Zhang Wen who summoned Beigu Shenkui and used brute force to forcibly stop the tank. I'm going. This tank has no seat belt, bad review. Zhang Wen felt that his mind was about to faint. Xu Yushan controlled the machine to float, looked forward to the screen, and saw a larger ice crystal spider. It should be the end of the first stage. The higher the monster's level and quality, the more experience points we will get. The wave of ice crystal spiders just now raised my SS level mechanical tanks by 3 levels. Zhao Yuan opened the hood, the biting cold wind howled, and he shuddered. The lower the player's level, the worse the resistance to severe cold. Players at about level 35 can be immune to this level of severe cold. Don't go out at all. Just turn on the sanctioning windbreaker in the tank, and kill the monsters in the same way. Ice Crystal Spider. Quality. Lord. Level. LV23. Strength. 1100. Constitution. 1100. Agility. 1100. Intelligence. 1100. Abilities. Frost, Biting. There are hundreds of Lord-level Ice Crystal Spiders, and most of them are level 23 elite creatures. These creatures seem to be carefully carved from a whole block of ice crystals, with scarlet light spots on their heads, which are their eyes. Then the 4 of them stayed in the mechanical tank, relying on the super high armor of the tank, rampaging through the pile of monsters. Zhao Yuan activated the active effect of the sanction windbreaker inside the tank, and a black flame windbreaker appeared on his body, and the enemies within 800 meters nearby fell into the field of serious injury and burning. The main gun of the tank is also filling ammunition non-stop, and the turret fixed above it vents its firepower crazily. Even if the turret is shattered, it is enough to re-summon a mechanical float, anyway, it is not bad. Zhang Wen also summoned his Bone Buffalo. With a single, Earth Crack, skill, he could instantly kill hundreds of ice crystal spiders. Xu Yushan sat in the driver's seat, and the other three fought against the landlord in the rear. Double. No double. Snatch the landlord. I rob the landlord. Zhang Wen. Shunzi. Yunning. Bomb. Zhao Yuan. Please drink a cup of cappuccino. The three of them fought happily, and the corners of Shu Yuxian's mouth twitched. Why can the landlord be able to type out the voice? Undercurrents were surging in Qingyan town, and one of the 5 major guilds had been forcibly disbanded, while the 4 of Zhao Yuan leisurely opened up the dungeon, and their experience points gradually increased. Boom! A familiar clear golden light shrouded Zhao Yuan's body, and he was promoted to level 17. After possessing the SSS level sanction windbreaker, Zhao Yuan's level up speed is comparable to that of a pure mage with S-level skills. All mages have a wide range of magic skills. With one skill, at least hundreds of beasts will be killed, but their blood volume is too low, and they are easily killed in a flash in the Doomsday game. Xu Yushan has also been upgraded to level 17. The main gun of the tank and the small missiles on the fixed turret all damage in the area, so his upgrade speed is not slow. Battle information. Kill the target, get 6,325 experience points, get 7,523 experience points. The player's level is raised to LV17, the strength and physical attributes are +20, and the agility and intelligence attributes are +5. Even a Lord-level ice crystal spider looks weak under a SSS level sanctions windbreaker, and will definitely be scalded to death within a minute. A large number of ice crystal spiders frantically surrounded the mechanical tank, smashing the steel plate of the tank violently with their spikes. But this is an SS-level mechanical tank, the hardness of the armor is extremely exaggerated. Yun Ning's blood recovery halo can stabilize the durability of the mechanical tank in a safe area. Yun Ning. The difficulty of this first stage is undoubtedly the frozen state, but we directly ignored the fatal negative effect of the frozen state. The ice crystal spider's attributes are actually very moderate, not too strong. This first stage is over. After killing all the ice crystal spiders, it is already 9 o'clock in the evening. Under normal circumstances, players need to set up tents, rest for a night, and after recovering their energy, continue to set off during the day to complete the second stage of the strategy. But with Shu Yuxian's mechanical tank, the inside was much warmer than the outside, and the 4 of them sat on the seats to rest and sleep. At the same time, Zhang Wen's bone buffalo is also guarding the outside world to ensure nothing goes wrong. In Qingyan town under the dark night, the lights are dim, some people are happy and some are sad. The announcement of the forced disbandment of the Huahu Guild completely ignited the beginning of the civil war. In an inn room, Lu Qingjun and Huang Xian met. Both of them were not low in level, and their equipment was very good, even exaggerated. They are all blue equipment that fit their own skill types. One signed a system agreement with the Pretty Country, and the other signed a slave treaty with the Cherry Blossom Country. Lu Qingjun took the initiative to say, Tujun didn't ask me to assassinate when the Balrog invaded, but asked me to lie dormant all the time. At first I couldn't figure out what I was waiting for, but now I may have some ideas. Huang Xian looked at this person who had gone on the road of no return like himself, and responded. You mean the Huahu Guild lost and was forcibly disbanded? That's right, Lu Qingjun said firmly. I'm pretty familiar with Tujun, he is a cunning guy through and through. I guess Tuo really wants to borrow the knife from the 5 major guilds, and finally kill the 4 of Zhao Yuan. Huang Xian was a little puzzled and said, how did Tuo really conclude that there would be civil strife in Qingyan town? Could it be that Takuma and Apt are secretly promoting the civil war among the 5 major guilds? Lu Qingjun suddenly realized, there must be more than 2 of us who have signed system agreements with other countries, and these people have mixed into the 5 major guilds. Could it be that the long-standing hatred between Huahu and Yuxia Guild was promoted by Tujun inside? Tujun put on the skin of the Huahu Guild and killed the players in Yuxia, and finally formed an unstoppable hatred. Huang Xian said with a smile. No matter who is left by the 5 major guilds, their strength will expand wildly in the end, and after their strength soars, they will want to snatch Zhao Yuan's SSS level skills. Human greed knows no bounds. Only in this way will it be possible to kill Zhao Yuan who has already formed, and there are also killers from the Beautiful Country and the Sakura Country. Lu Qingjun sighed. It's really a good move, Zhao Yuan will definitely die this time. 7. The only variable is how big Zhao Yuan's guild can grow during the 7-day protection period. Huang Xian walked towards the door of the inn, ready to return to his room, and finally said, "It's only been 7 days, and it took the 5 major guilds several years to be promoted to the 3rd level guild, accumulating the wealth of the current family. What is 7 days enough for?" Milan President Zhou Heng and Lin Fen President Li Sheng sent private messages. Is this coordinate information true? Li Sheng: Of course it is true. I have sent assassins with stealth skills to investigate. This assassin's stealth skill level is very high, but he is cautious enough to not approach rashly, but just glanced at it from a long distance. I can see a large number of Shenkui troops leaving the guild building and hunting fierce beasts. This Shenkui unit is exclusive to the Shengui guild, so the information is true. Still cautious, Zhou Heng replied. Is the person who gave you the coordinate information reliable? Li Sheng: What, are you worried it's a trap? I sent this person into the Mountain Ghost Guild with my own hands. He has been in the Mountain Ghost Guild for nearly 6 months and is absolutely reliable. Besides, the coordinates of the guild have been exposed. Regardless of whether he is a trap, our 2 families are tied together. Are you afraid that he is a trap? Kill them all. Zhou Heng: Indeed, the coordinates of the guild are an absolute secret, and it is impossible to use coordinates to set up traps. If you want to make a move, choose to sneak attack in the early morning. And this is not protected by the conquest order system. Those who die are really dead. Our side will also suffer a lot of losses. Li Sheng responded, I've already calculated the time. I will rush to attack in 20 minutes. I will arrive at 4 o'clock in the morning, and then I will use the Tiger Talisman for mobilizing troops. Losses are inevitable. We don't have much time. Wang Hansheng has reincarnated 120,000 flame archers and 50,000 colorful tigers, and his average level is increasing. Wait for him to issue another battle order, our end may be even more miserable than Huahu's. Zhou Heng: Yes, the flame archer in Wang Hansheng's hands should be a very strong type of blue arms, otherwise it would be impossible to defeat Wahu so easily and retain half of the number of arms. No one would have guessed that the 2 of us are actually brothers who had a fateful friendship. We will swallow all of Qingyan town. Players from Milan and Linfan guilds gathered secretly, set off late at night, and rushed towards the building coordinates of the Shengui guild. The next day, Zhao Yuan's team woke up very early, drove the mechanical tank forward, and entered the 2nd stage of the dungeon. Through the lens of the tank, Zhao Yuan saw that the icicles on the road were gradually thinning, and the terrain turned into normal mud. Goats standing upright hovered at the entrance of the cave, with indescribably strange faces, with human facial features and goat characteristics. Goat Man. Quality: Lord. Level: LV 25. Power: 1500. Constitution: 1500. Agility: 1500. Intelligence: 500. Skills: Frenzy, Chase. As the mechanical tank approached, these goat men all stared at the tank. Their pupils were red, the corners of their mouths were raised, and an inexplicable strange feeling came to their hearts. Laugh. I'll make you laugh. Shu Yushan pulled the trigger on the driving handle, the main gun of the tank erupted loudly, and the huge recoil caused huge smoke and dust, and the tank itself sank a little. Boom. The brass-colored cannonball fell into the goatman, instantly killing everyone, and blood and flesh flew everywhere. Zhao Yuan also jumped out of the tank, activated the sword taunt, rushed into the monster pile, activated the active effect of the Sanction Windbreaker, and wore Yun Ning's quadruple aura. In a 25-player dungeon, the number of monsters requires 25 players to fight for 7 days and 7 nights. This is only the first-class players to achieve this speed. The weaker player team is likely to fight for more than 10 days, or simply die in the tide of monsters. In the forced taunt at 2,300 meters, Zhao Yuan was instantly stared at by countless pairs of scarlet eyes. Chase. The goat man activated the chasing skill, his movement speed increased by more than 5 times, he approached Zhao Yuan instantly, and tried to break Zhao Yuan's head with both hands. But Zhao Yuan's defense was too terrifying, and only dropped a small amount of health. In the next second, hundreds of goatmen activated their chasing skills, approached Zhao Yuan in a very short time, and launched terrifying combos on him. Battle information. Suffered damage from the Frenzy skill, reduced blood volume by 700 points, triggered SSS level anti-armor, causing 9,633 points of real damage. Trigger SSS level anti-armor, causing 8,652 points of real damage, causing. Following the Goatman's violent attack, his own blood bar dropped rapidly like running water, and he was counter-injured by his own attack to death. There are also more than 50,000 level 25 elite goatmen, among which there are thousands of ferocious huge goats, which are level 25 lord creatures. Zhao Yuan was surrounded by groups, but every second, a large number of goatmen were emptied of blood by anti-armor. Zhao Yuan is wearing a black flame windbreaker, which has reached the 1,000-meter serious injury and burning field after upgrading, and is equipped with Yun Ning's blood-sucking aura. Even with 10 times more goatmen, Zhao Yuan could still maintain 99% of his blood volume. Sanction Windbreaker plus Blood-Sucking Halo, it can be called a magical skill to brush monster waves. Several Lord-level goatmen used their chasing skills, landed on all fours, and rushed to Zhao Yuan in an instant. Tried to break Zhao Yuan's neck directly, smashed Zhao Yuan's skull, and pinched Zhao Yuan's limbs with terrifying force, but it didn't help. Zhao Yuan didn't even feel any pain at all. On the contrary, the goatmen within 1,000 meters were covered with a few balls of black flames that looked light, and their blood volume dropped visible to the naked eye. Battle information. Turn on the Sanction Windbreaker, causing 7,655 points of serious injury and burning damage to enemy units within a range of 1,000 meters per second. 191 blood points, 183 blood points, 199 blood points. The dense blood-sucking value appeared in the battle information. Even if Zhao Yuan fell into residual blood, he could instantly recharge it when there were thousands of beasts nearby. Zhang Wen turned on the SS level Bone Demon and entered the battlefield, as if playing a game of mowing grass. Only the Lord level Goatman can resist 2 attacks. All the members of Milan and Linfun guilds, a total of 60,000 people, ran in the middle of the night. They also encountered many monsters along the way, but they were all quickly dealt with. Finally, when the sky was getting blue, I found the Shangui Guild's residence. Zhou Heng and Li Sheng respectively used the Tiger Talisman to transfer 70,000 blue griffins and 80,000 stinging hornets to the scene. A total of 60,000 players, plus 150,000 blue troops, launched a surprise attack when the troops of the Mountain Ghost Guild were sleeping and resting. This is a war without systemic mechanism protection, and it is a battlefield where real deaths will occur. Since it was early in the morning, there were only 80,000 Shangui units in the Shangui Guild, and a few guild generals. Most of the players are resting in the inn. How can they stop the 210,000 troops? Under the leadership of Zhou Heng and Li Sheng, 2 first-class powerhouses, they smashed down the city wall of the Mountain Ghost Guild. In just 15 minutes, all 80,000 Shangui were killed. By the time the leader of the Mountain Ghost Guild reacted and summoned the guild members to teleport to the guild station for defense, it was too late. This blitz caused the Mountain Ghost Guild to lose its bargaining chip. Zhou Heng's body was covered with blue lightning. Shu Ji, you have already lost. If you continue to resist, then your teammate will really die. Or you can disband the Mountain Ghost Guild by yourself and give up resistance, then you and your teammates can still live. Shu Ji, the president of Shangui, looked at the corpses of Shangui all over the floor. These were his painstaking efforts over the past few years. I didn't expect the 2 of you to join forces. Do you 2 want to share the resources equally? The spoils are not evenly divided. Aren't you also enemies fighting each other? Shu Ji asked rhetorically. Li Sheng said with a smile, this is not something you should worry about. The big river will go east, and the waves will be exhausted. You have already fallen out of the competition stage. Choose quickly. I don't mind killing you all, and then get the equipment, copper coins, and experience points on your body. But after all, I'm the same kind, and I'm not that cruel. Shu Ji looked sideways at the members behind him. Most of them feared death and had teleported away, the rest were his confidants. Have you planted an eyeliner in my guild? That's when you learned the coordinates of my guild's residence. It was you who won. I am convinced. I never thought that the 2 of you would join forces and find my guild coordinates. All the guild supplies here are yours, including the reincarnation pool of the arms. Afterwards, the Mountain Ghost Guild was looted, with a total of several million guild supplies, a large amount of guild funds, experience points, and arms reincarnation pools. Regional announcement. the Mountain Ghost Guild has disbanded on its own. Disband on your own, Zhang Wen, who was beheading the Lord-level Goatman, said in surprise. It wasn't a guild war that was forcibly disbanded after the defeat, but the guild leader chose to disband himself. What's going on? So many days after we opened up the wasteland, the situation in the outside world is so turbulent. Yun Ning was also surprised. This is too fast. After we clear the dungeon, there will only be one guild left in Qingyan Town, right? Is this Yuxia's handwriting, or is it forced by the other two guilds? Zhao Yuan comforted. It's okay, our guild is developing very fast, and the purple quality generals lead the light gold quality troops, which can crush all enemies. Now we are destroying the nearby beast forces in order to obtain guild materials. The average level of the pterosaur cavalry has reached level 7. Roar! An overlord-level goatman appeared in front of Zhao Yuan, which was the last obstacle in the second stage. Zhao Yuan started to taunt with his sword. Zhang Wen controlled the skeleton bone demon, and collided with the overlord-level goatman. There are tens of thousands of elite goatmen nearby. Zhao Yuan has activated the severe injury and burning field, and with the 2.5% blood-sucking attribute of the blood-sucking halo, he can suck tens of thousands of blood every second. It is also not difficult to fight the Overlord-level Goatman, not to mention the SSS level Taunt plus anti-armor. The Overlord-level Goatman had 3 pairs of curved demon horns on his head. He accelerated and rushed in front of Zhao Yuan, with a lot of ferocious fangs protruding from his arms, smashing the back of Zhao Yuan's head frantically. Zhao Yuan's blood volume began to decline, triggering the anti-armor of real damage, and the Overlord-level Goatman could not escape the ending of being killed by anti-injury. As soon as the Overlord-level Goatman died, Yun Ning and Zhang Wen were upgraded to level 17, and their attribute points were increased. Zhao Yuan's own experience value also reached 56% of level 17. Even if 25 players with normal strength fight for a whole day, they may not be able to kill the number of monsters. In front of Zhao Yuan and the others, it seems a little underwhelming. After all, the 3 output players have a large-scale attack ability, plus the return of monsters. Halo's infinite battery life. This second stage only lasted 5 hours in total, and everyone gained a lot of experience and skill proficiency. The higher the skill level, the more proficiency needed to upgrade, but Zhao Yuan has the talent of hundreds of millions of times the proficiency and can get 18 times the proficiency. Therefore, the upgrade speed of Zhao Yuan's skills has not slowed down, but has increased a lot. The highest level skill of Yun Ning and others is not more than level 40, and Zhao Yuan can break through to level 70 after finishing this level 20 dungeon. The upper limit of the skill's level is 100. After 100, the skill can be awakened, so that the skill can be substantially improved. And the talent of hundreds of millions of times proficiency has cancelled Zhao Yuan's skill level cap. Level 100 is no longer the end point. Even in the face of SSS level abilities, Zhao Yuan has his own advantages and can be no weaker than any genius. Battle information. Kill the target, gain 9,980 experience points, gain 8,552 experience points, gain experience points. Kill the target and trigger the talent, hundreds of millions of times of proficiency, the current multiplier is 18 times. Use skills to kill beasts, get a total of 60,000 skill proficiency points *18 times. The SSS level anti-armor is increased by 3 levels, the SSS level sword drawing ridicule is increased by 3 levels, the SSS level fanatic is increased by 4 levels, and the SSS level sanctions windbreaker is increased by 6 levels. Zhao Yuan's team cleared the second stage of the dungeon, and after a certain distance, the third stage will start. The 4 of them rode on the mechanical tank, and their traveling speed increased by more than 6 times. The battle mounts were very precious items. Most of them are non-combat mounts, and once they enter the combat state, they have to dismount immediately. Yun Ning said, "My blood-sucking aura has been upgraded to level 21, which can add 4% of the blood-sucking attribute. I guess after reaching level 100, it can get 20% of the blood-sucking attribute nearby, which is already very scary." Yun Ning, as the vice president of the guild, can also check the development process of the guild. She clicked on the guild log. Pterosaur cavalry troops go out to hunt beasts, average level plus 0.4, food plus 900 units. Discover the level 10 Ape Cave. The battalion commander led 3,915 units of pterosaur cavalry to destroy the level 10 Monkey Cave. Destroy 45 units of pterodactyl cavalry, get 300,000 guild materials and 50,000 guild experience. Consume guild materials 30W, reincarnation pool output plus 750. Warn: the catastrophe event is triggered. The storm is coming. The guild is in the protection period, and the catastrophe event has ended. The current number of arms is 4,620 units, with an average level of 7. Yun Ning was surprised. Our guild has developed too fast. How long has it been? We didn't even participate, and we developed 4,620 units of pterosaur cavalry. Zhao Yuan explained. The reason is very simple. The light gold quality is a level beyond the overlord level, and the pterosaur cavalry is still a rare air unit. Finding and encountering the forces of ferocious beasts, you can easily complete the occupation with very little battle damage. And the general blue and purple troops will suffer a lot of casualties in the process of occupying the forces of beasts. In the end, the gains will outweigh the losses. The guild materials obtained by occupying forces can't even make up for the dead arms. Combined with the general NPC of purple quality, when the protection period ends, at least 40,000 units of pterosaur cavalry can be reincarnated. Zhang Wen added, this is the least of the cases. As long as we end the dungeon early and greatly strengthen our combat power, we can join the guild's troops. Destroy the beast forces in the wilderness together, so that the accumulation of guild materials will be faster. The 4 of them have passed the second stage, and their own skills have gained a lot of proficiency and their level has been improved. The skill level of Shu Yuxian's SS class mechanical tank has increased, the steel plate armor of the tank has become harder, and the firepower has become stronger. After plundering the Mountain Ghost Guild, Zhou Hang and Li Sheng obtained a total of millions of guild materials, but they did not share them equally, but gave them all to Zhou Hang. Because Zhou Hang's griffin is more powerful and can even be used as a mount for players in battle. Zhou Hang threw all the guild materials he got into the unit reincarnation pool, and 90,000 level 1 blue griffins were produced from it. Zhou Hang said to Li Sheng, during the blitzkrieg against the Mountain Ghost Guild, the griffin lost 20,000 units, and your stinger hornet also lost 30,000 units. Only by launching an offensive regardless of the cost, can all 80,000 mountain chiefs be killed within 15 minutes. Including the newly reincarnated griffins, we have a total of 140,000 blue griffins, 50,000 blue stinging hornets, and 60,000 players. Compared with the current Yuxia, we have the upper hand. Li Sheng sat aside and responded. Although we have the advantage is not obvious, not to mention that the flame archer is a long-distance output unit, and the damage is very high. Zhou Hang was playing with the magic book in his hand, and he could vaguely see the arc jumping on the page. Now we can't do anything, there is no conquest order, and there is no coordinate of the Yuxia Guild. We can only continue to develop the guild's arms. Raise the average level of this batch of newly reincarnated griffins. Finally, if you get the battle order, you can launch the final battle. Li Sheng said with a smile. When Yuxia is defeated, Milan will become a 4th level guild, with the upper limit of members reaching 300,000, and we can completely merge into one organization. It is said that when the players in a town are unified, a hidden mission will be triggered. Zhou Hang responded. Even if there is a hidden mission, it's just the icing on the cake. Let's think about how to defeat Yuxia. As for the remaining power of the Huahu and Mountain Ghost Guilds, they are too weak and cannot be used. Without the guild arms, it is impossible for them to rise again. You must know that it took these 2 guilds 3 years to develop to this scale. In the level 25 area outside Qingyun town, Huang Xian and Lu Qingjun teamed up to hunt down the nearby beasts. Huang Xian opened his mouth while slashing with his sword. I got the news. It turned out that Lin Fen and Milan joined forces, brought all the troops, and rushed to the Mountain Ghost Guild station overnight. In a blitzkrieg manner, all the blue quality Shenkui were killed within 15 minutes. Lu Qingjun set up his bow and arrow, and kept shooting arrows with rune halos, and responded. It's understandable that these 2 joined forces, but how do they know the coordinates of the location of the Mountain Ghost Guild? Could it be that this was also promoted by Tujun secretly? I understand, the people under Tujun first joined the Forest Grave Guild, and then they were sent to the Mountain Ghost Guild by the Forest Grave Guild. Isn't this too difficult? And how much time will it take? When did Tujun lay out in Qingyan town? Huang Xian opened his mouth and said, the two countries are fighting, and there is no need to do anything. The national war can't be beaten, and we can only find a way to attack the grassroots structure of the Xia kingdom, so that there is a talent gap in the Xia kingdom. Don't think about Tujun so much. Maybe Tujun didn't expect this scene to happen. Zhao Yuan and others rushed to the third stage of the copy, which was also a tide of monsters that exceeded 50,000. Ghoul, quality, Lord, level, LV 25. Strength, 1600. Constitution, 700. Agility, 1600. Intelligence, 700. Skills, stealth, backstab. These monsters seem to be human corpses that have been dead for many years, with gloomy skin and frightened faces, wearing ragged white clothes, and carrying a bloody serrated dagger in their hands. This is an assassin-type monster. It's the first time I've met it, Zhang Wen said. While the stealth plus backstab combo may seem tricky, to us, it doesn't seem to be any different. Xu Yushan. One of us is a tank, the other is a skeleton demon, and the other is the strongest meat shield. This stealth plus backstab, no matter how high the damage is, it can't be pierced. Yuning's quadruple aura is always on, and the SS level magic returning aura allows Yuning to be self-sufficient. Even if the quadruple aura is always on, the magic value is always kept at 100%. This is the second day after entering the dungeon. We have reached the third stage. Perhaps we will be able to clear the dungeon soon. Zhao Yuan also said, and the most difficult boost battle is easier for me. When a normal player fights the final overlord creature, it takes 7 or 8 hours to empty the boost's HP. And in the whole process, a little mistake will lead to the destruction of the group. But my SSS level anti-armor can reflect real damage according to the attacking party's attack attributes. To fight the ultimate overlord creature, I even only need half an hour. The stronger the boss, the faster it will die. Zhao Yuan glanced at his status bar. HP aura. Increase the maximum HP by 40,000 points. Healing aura. Restores 3,000 blood per second. Regenerating aura. Restores 1,500 mana per second. Vampire aura. Vampire attribute plus 4%. Outlaw. Restores 1% of the maximum HP per second. Yun Ning's skill level continued to improve after battles over and over again, and her own intelligence attributes, attack attributes, and even equipment added special effects. All can improve the final effect of the halo. These 4 halos are already extremely terrifying. I wonder what kind of halo skill Yun Ning will get after reaching level 20. The effect of the sanctioning windbreaker on Zhao Yuan's body was always on. Wearing a black flame windbreaker, he taunted with a drawn knife, turned into an afterimage, and crashed into the ghouls. After getting closer, Zhao Yuan could see more clearly. There were thousands of Lord-level ghouls, and he didn't know when a Lord-level ghoul would emerge. There is one Overlord-level creature in the second stage, and at least 2 will appear in the third stage. Zhao Yuan suddenly lost his sight, and all the ghouls in front of him disappeared, but he could see obvious footprints and the sound of the ghouls moving. The next second, countless daggers appeared from behind Zhao Yuan, with a fierce wind, slamming Zhao Yuan's back violently. Kang, Kang. A large number of ghouls emerged from the invisible state, and the serrated dagger in his hand seemed to be stabbed on the steel, with obvious breaks. It turns out that the backstab skill is a short-range teleportation skill that appears behind the target and causes fatal damage. Zhao Yuan analyzed. The difficulty of this stage has increased significantly. Even a first-class player team encounters this terrifying combination of group stealth and group teleportation backstab. It will also be instantly killed, especially when the players in the front row can't hold their hatred. The crispy players in the team will encounter hundreds of invisible assassins' backstabs. Yun Ning said in the tank, this level is indeed very difficult. This assassin-type monster is simply a nightmare for players. However, the blood volume of assassin-type monsters is very small. As long as the first wave of stealth plus backstab is resisted, one skill can kill them. That is to say, as long as we resist the damage of the ghouls, we can pass in a shorter time than the previous 2 stages. Zhao Yuan's level 36 sanction windbreaker has a range of 1,200 meters when it is actively turned on, and the jet black flames that slowly rise like a stream of water adhere to the ghoul. The health bar of the ghouls slumped wildly. Although these ghouls have powerful attacks, their own health and defense are too weak, and they can't stop the 7-second damage of the severely injured burning domain. Battle information. Turn on the SSS level sanction windbreaker, and cause 8,559 points of severe burns and burn damage to enemy units within 1200 meters per second. 256 blood-sucking points, 221 blood-sucking points, 199 blood-sucking points. Injured by backstab skills, HP is reduced by 3,621 points, triggering SSS anti-armor, causing 1.5 W real damage. Puff, puff. Use the backstab to attack Zhao Yuan's ghoul, and be counter-injured by real damage, and instantly kill it. These ghouls seemed to be sent to death, turned on stealth, and then stabbed Zhao Yuan in the back, and then they were gone. But Zhao Yuan's health bar also dropped very quickly, and he was hit by hundreds of backstabs in an instant. The blood volume is directly reduced by 15%, but the next second is fully restored by a large amount of blood-sucking effect. The damage of the sanctioned windbreaker can suck blood, and the real damage of the counter-injury can also suck blood, and it is a 4% blood-sucking attribute, which locks Zhao Yuan's health at 99%. Zhao Yuan's experience value rose rapidly, and these 25-level ghouls of the Lord rank provided a lot of experience value and skill proficiency. After finishing this third stage, I will definitely be able to upgrade to level 18. Although Zhang Wen's SS level Bone Demon Possession has a cooling interval, he is also summoned immediately without reservation. After all, only by using skills can the proficiency of the corresponding skills be obtained. Zhang Wen uses the S-level Bone Summon to wake up the bones of the Lord level Ghoul. Now the upper limit of Zhang Wen's Bone Summons is 3000. The 3 skill columns of Bone Demon Possession can be freely selected. As long as they are the skills of the bone unit in the body, they can be combined at will. Zhang Wen chose the 3 skills of invisibility, backstab, and ground cracking, and transformed into a dominant and terrifying assassin in an instant. Stealth. Zhang Wen was covered by huge bone fragments and became the heart of the skeleton bone demon. The bone demon disappeared among the monsters. Backstab. The skeleton bone demon teleported to the back of a Lord-level ghoul, and pierced the ghoul's back with a dagger made of bone fragments. The earth cracks. At the same time, the bone demon tramples the ground, causing area damage and adding a dizzy state. Almost beheaded a bloody Lord Ghoul. Zhang Wen said excitedly, "I have grasped the essence of SS-level bone demon possession." Zhao Yuan responded, "I saw it too, you directly transformed into an overlord-level assassin." Zhang Wen, "That's right. Bone Demon Possession not only allows me to have combat power, but also prevents me from being easily killed by the enemy after getting close. It also allows me to freely combine skills. As long as it is a skill possessed by the bone unit, I can embed it on the skill bar of the bone monster. And as the skill level increases, the skill bar of the bone demon will also increase. In the later stage, I can even combine the skills of various boos. I can be an assassin, a mage, or a priest." Yun Ning added, "But the premise is that you have to be able to kill all kinds of boos. With our team working together, you will be able to acquire more and more boos skills in the future." 3 hours later, all the ghouls on the scene were almost wiped out. They had blood-sucking auras, and everyone played very casually, and their blood volume was easily sucked up. A ghoul with the silhouette of a girl stepped out of the shadows, wearing a tattered red dress, stepping barefoot on the hard ground, with a shadow on his face, making it difficult to see his facial features. Blood Ghoul. Quality. Overlord. Level. LV 25. Power. 2100. Constitution. 1000. Agility. 2100. Intelligence. 1000. Skills. Stealth, backstab, howl, tendon. No matter what the enemy's skills are, Zhao Yuan first activates the sword-drawing taunt to apply the taunt state to the enemy. The blood-clothed ghoul disappeared and came to Zhao Yuan's back in an instant. Instead of raising the dagger, it opened its mouth and let out a sharp and miserable howl. Covered by howling, Zhao Yuan and Zhang Wen fell into a state of confusion for 3 seconds. The behavior of the player in the chaos state is distorted. When the player wants to walk forward, the body will move to the left instead. When the player wants to attack, the body will stand still in a daze. Zhao Yuan didn't have the ability to be immune to control at this time, and fell into a state of confusion for 3 seconds, and the state of confusion was different from being stunned. If you are attacked while stunned, you will be awakened instantly. In a state of confusion, no matter how many attacks you suffer, you will not be able to get rid of the negative state. Pick your muscles. The blood-clothed ghoul's arm turned into an afterimage, and he slashed at Zhao Yuan's neck with a sword, intending to cut off all of Zhao Yuan's aorta. The blood-clothed ghoul's attack speed was too fast, and Zhao Yuan was hit by the tendon-picking skill. Puff! There was a wound on Zhao Yuan's neck, and a lot of blood spurted out, and the blood-robed ghoul also had a similar wound, and his blood volume dropped by 1/6 in an instant. Battle information. Suffering from the skill Tickling, the blood volume is reduced by 18%, triggering the SSS level anti-armor, causing 3.5 W real damage. 1400 blood has been sucked. I have fallen into a state of chaos, and my behavior cannot be controlled. Shu Yuxian's fixed fort fired wildly at the blood-clothed ghoul, and the tank's main gun spewed huge brass-colored shells, covering the blood-clothed ghoul. With teammate damage immunity, Zhao Yuan won't take a single damage even if covered by artillery fire. The 3-second chaotic state ended, Zhao Yuan returned to normal, and there were few ordinary ghouls nearby, so he turned off the active effect of the sanctioning windbreaker. Relying on the madman's passive recovery of blood, Zhang Wen controlled the skeleton bone demon, stealth plus backstab, and came behind the blood-clothed ghoul, and used his own way to heal his body. And the attributes of the skeleton bone demon are much higher than those of the blood-clothed ghoul. 7. Zhao Yuan relied on the SSS level fanatic passive, plus the blood-returning halo and blood-sucking effect, and quickly recovered the lost blood. Zhao Yuan said, "This blood-robed ghoul can kill himself with only 6 swords. This type of assassin-type overlord creature can be called a god of death in front of ordinary players. With 1 sword and 1 head, it will kill me, 18% health." It only took Zhao Yuan 5 minutes to kill this overlord-level blood-clothed ghoul, under the counter-injury of real damage. The blood-clothed ghoul will take away 1/6 of its own health with every sword, and it has no way to escape. It is forced to be ridiculed and can only attack Zhao Yuan desperately until he dies. Boom! As the overlord-level ghoul's body fell, Zhao Yuan's body was covered with brilliant golden light, and he was raised to level 18. With 2 levels to go, a brand new cornerstone ability is available. Zhang Wen is still a little short of experience points, and can be upgraded to level 18. Now the other 3 are all level 17, and Zhao Yuan is level 18 alone. Battle information. Kill the overlord level blood-clothed ghoul, get 9 W experience points, and raise the player's personal level to level 18. Strength and constitution increase by 20 points, and agility and intelligence increase by 5 points. Kill the target and trigger the talent, hundreds of millions of times of proficiency, the current multiplier is 19 times. Use skills, kill the target, get a total of 12 W points of skill proficiency *19 times. The SSS level anti-armor is increased by 3 levels, the SSS level sword drawing ridicule is increased by 3 levels, the SSS level fanatic is increased by 5 levels, and the SSS level sanctions windbreaker is increased by 5 levels. After the anti-armor skill is increased by 3, the magic and physical defense provided passively have increased by nearly 10,000 points. Now Zhao Yuan's physical defense is 18 W, and his magic defense is 17 W. At the same time, the SSS level fanatic has increased by 5 levels, and his HP has increased by nearly 2 W points. The coverage of the sanctioned windbreaker has been increased to 700 meters, and the range of the taunting with the knife has also been increased, but the taunting time seems to be fixed at 30 seconds, which has not changed for many levels. Zhao Yuan's skills have basically taken shape. When facing the beast tide, he can turn on the sanctioning windbreaker, burn the beasts in a large area, and clear the monsters very quickly. In the face of high-strength overlord creatures, turning off the sanctioning windbreaker and relying on the anti-armor of real damage can also achieve the effect of quick kills. Therefore, no matter which situation he faced, Zhao Yuan seemed very calm. Dungeon information. The total time required to clear the 3 stages is 16 hours, the number of participants is 4, and the hidden condition has been successfully triggered. The captain can choose the hidden difficulty of the 4th stage, Nightmare, Hell, Abyss. Warn. The hidden difficulty is extremely high, and you can get extremely rich and precious rewards after clearing the level. Please choose carefully. Zhao Yuan said. There are hidden difficulty options, there are no 3 options of normal, elite, and hard. Does this mean that the difficulty of this dungeon is actually hard? Yun Ning said cautiously. The higher the difficulty, the more precious the final reward, but the danger also increases exponentially. And this is a 25-person copy, and we only have 4 people from the beginning to the end. Zhang Wen touched his chest. Nightmare class is also very easy for us, the choice is between Hell class and Abyss class. Shu Yushan took off his glasses, wiped the surface with a special handkerchief and said. I think we can fight the most difficult Abyss class, because as long as Zhao Yuan can resist the boss's attack, we can use the SSS class anti-armor to kill the final boss. Output doesn't need to be considered, it is naturally enough, the only thing to consider is survival. And I still have a skill that I haven't been able to use, and that is S-level mechanical repair. Zhao Yuan understood Shu Yuxian's thoughts in an instant. You mean to rely on your mechanical tank to help me resist the boss's attack, and then take advantage of this gap to use the madman to restore blood. Shu Yushan snapped his fingers. That's right. There are Zhao Yuan, Zhang Wen's skeleton bone demon, and my mechanical tank. It's actually spreading the damage to 3 units. In this way, you can rely on SSS anti-armor to kill the final boss. Yun Ning interrupted. The final boss of the Abyss level cannot scatter damage. The intelligence of this level of creatures is very high, and we can't fool them. Zhang Wen retorted. Even if Booz has wisdom, we can form a 3-party sharing of damage. We just need to agree on some details in advance. Let Zhao Yuan resist the damage of the final Booz first, and when Zhao Yuan's blood drops to 50%, I will activate the possessed bone demon to resist the Booz. When the blood volume of my skeleton bone demon is unhealthy, I will hide in the mechanical tank. The durability of the mechanical tank is very high. It's enough for Zhao Yuan to restore his blood volume to full, and the next thing is to repeat. Shu Yushan added. When the mechanical tank skill reaches level 20, I can summon 2 tanks at the same time. However, the power and ammunition consumed by the 2 tanks require mana to maintain. Even with the mana recovery aura, I cannot supply energy to 2 tanks at the same time. But if you just use the tank as a safety cabin and resist the Booz for a while, the mana consumption is acceptable. Even if the mechanical tank is destroyed, the cooling time is very short, and I can quickly summon one again. Zhao Yuan said with a final word. Okay, let's choose the most difficult Abyss level. Dungeon information. The player team has chosen the difficulty of the Abyss, and the final stage is about to begin. Although Zhao Yuan chose the Abyss level difficulty, there was still a long way to go, so the 4 of them boarded the mechanical tank again and rushed to the final area. The magma mountain has now become a leveling area for level 25 players. The monsters around here are all lava attributes. As long as you bring a few water type and ice type mages, the upgrade speed will be very fast. A female ice mage looked at the towering volcano in the distance. Isn't this volcano silent? How can I see heat coming out of the crater? His teammate heard the sound and looked at the volcano and said, there is indeed an inconspicuous heat. Is this volcano going to wake up? As soon as the Balrog died, this largest active volcano was completely dead. Forget it, after killing these lava dogs, we will return to Qingyan town. Anyway, the blue returning potions we brought with us have been used up. Doomsday game. Opening Awakening SSS level anti-armor. A strange bird with the face of an old man stands on the edge of the active volcano. As its line of sight extends down, a magnificent silhouette can be seen sleeping at the bottom of the magma. At this time, the main strategy of Milan Guild and Yuxia Guild is to develop the guild arms, and all the players of the guild join the arms troops. Enter the area around the guild building to explore, and the most important thing in the wilderness is the beast. As long as you find a monster tribe with a certain intelligence, you will launch an attack, destroy the entire monster tribe, scavenge all the materials, and use it to reincarnate into a military unit. But the wilderness is full of dangers, and it is very likely that the encounter is not a monster tribe of level 10 and 15, but more likely to be a beast force of level 20 and 25. At least the number of beasts is 20W, and the leader of the beasts is not low in intelligence. Therefore, the development speed of these two guilds is actually very slow, and they cannot make ends meet. In the process of occupying the beast forces, a large number of arms died in battle. Even if a player team joins, it is equally difficult, and the two guilds have already passed the protection period. Therefore, it is necessary to stay behind certain units of arms to protect the guild station. If you are not lucky, you will encounter a powerful beast force directly in the wilderness, and the entire army of arms, including the player, will die. The highest known area around Qingyan Town is level 30, but some foggy areas that have not been explored are likely to be dangerous at level 35 and 40. Therefore, the two guilds, Milan and Yuxia, were busy all day, and after deducting the number of deaths, they added 200 plus units of troops. But on the other hand, Zhao Yuan's Devious Soldiers Guild has a strong light gold quality arms. After the average level is raised, it almost wipes out the surrounding monster forces like a destructive force, and it can increase at least 500 plus units of arms in a day. With good luck, it is not impossible to increase the pterosaur cavalry of 1000 plus units in one day. The four of Zhao Yuan rode a mechanical tank and traveled for 30 minutes, and finally arrived at the main entrance of a quaint and magnificent hall. The main entrance is closed, and many religious symbols are engraved on the surface. Zhao Yuan said, "Opening this door is the final stage on Abyss difficulty. We will start the strategy according to the plan we agreed on the tank before." Creak creak. Zhao Yuan pushed open the heavy door with one arm. There was no source of light inside the hall, but it was extremely bright. A huge and strange figure was sleeping in the center. When Zhao Yuan opened the door, the other party opened his eyes. Bump. The door behind him closed on its own, and the copy information emerged. Has entered the final stage of the abyss. Can't quit midway. Warn. The king level creature has awakened and is extremely dangerous. King level. This must be a level above the overlord level. Yun Ning said solemnly. What kind of terrifying aura is this? My body is obviously half digitized. Under the aura of this creature, I actually have the urge to kneel. Shu Yushan exclaimed. Yun Ning and Shu Yushan fled to the very edge of the hall immediately. Yun Ning's task was to apply a quadruple halo effect to others while protecting herself. Shu Yushan gave up the idea of output directly, and it was enough to give Zhao Yuan's SSS level anti-armor. Zhao Yuan and Zhang Wen looked at this king-level creature. Ghost face. Quality. King class. Level. LV 25. Strength. 5000. Constitution. 5000. Agility. 5000. Intelligence. 1000. Skills. Chongquan, Bloody Fist, Mountain Destruction Fist. The ghost-faced demon is burly, more than 2.5 meters tall, with hideous dark blue folds on the surface of the skin. Wearing a cow bone mask, you can see the pitch-black horns that curve downward and the human pupils hidden under the skull mask. 5000 strength, physique, and agility. And these three skills feel very powerful just by looking at their names. Zhang Wen said. The ghost-faced demon even has 3 health bars. Although his body is only 2.5 meters tall, Zhao Yuan has no doubts that those 20-meter-tall overlord creatures must surrender unconditionally in front of the ghost-faced devil. Zhao Yuan's thoughts changed, and he opened his mouth to command. Zhang Wen, you step back first. Punching is obviously a thrusting skill. Zusha Fist and Destroying Mountain Fist may be range attack capabilities. Zhao Yuan set off. He turned on the taunt with the sword drawn, sprinted in front of the ghost-faced demon, and applied a taunting effect for 30 seconds. Fortunately, SSS level skills can also achieve 30-second taunting control in front of king-level creatures, and the taunting time is not discounted. Then Zhao Yuan held blue quality shields in both hands, ready to meet the attack of the ghost-faced demon. Blood Fist. The ghost-faced devil's fists were wrapped with heavy iron ropes, like a pair of fists, and jumped up instantly. Came to the top of Zhao Yuan's head and began to frantically blast the scarlet fist down. The dense fist slammed on Zhao Yuan, and the blood volume suddenly decreased until the bloody fist skill ended. The ghost-faced demon threw dozens of punches in just 3 seconds, reducing Zhao Yuan's HP by 32%. It's okay. If you can hold it, you will have a chance to kill. Zhao Yuan said in the group chat of his teammates. Battle information. Inflicted by the blood fist skill damage, the blood volume is reduced by 32%, and the SSS level anti-armor is triggered, causing 5.5W real damage. 2200 points of blood have been sucked. 251 points of blood have been sucked. 263 points of blood have been sucked. The first blood sucking is 4% of the real damage of the anti-armor, and the subsequent small blood sucking is the passive burning damage of the sanctioned windbreaker. Has fallen into a disabled state, reducing the movement speed by 35% for 5 seconds. Puff. There were obvious fist marks on the ghost face, and its own first tube of blood was reduced by 1/7. Zhao Yuan drank a bottle of high-quality blood recovery potion, and at the same time, his madman passively recovered 1% of his blood per second, plus Yun Ning's blood returning aura. The blood bar has risen visibly to the naked eye. Zhao Yuan has completely given up the attack. As long as he resists the attack of the booze, he can counterattack and kill it. Zhao Yuan is also very good at being beaten. When he was bombarded by the demon-faced demon fist gang just now, Zhao Yuan kept adjusting the angle of his shield to reduce the damage he suffered. But the speed of the fist is too fast. Zhao Yuan's first shot is a perfect angle shield block, and the subsequent fist shadows are overwhelmed. The ghost-faced demon looked at the injury on his body suspiciously, and then looked at the illusory armor of thorns that appeared on Zhao Yuan's body. Immediately understood that he was injured by anti-armor, but it was controlled by 30 seconds of taunt, unable to change the attack target, and could only kill Zhao Yuan with all his strength. Fist punch. The ghost-faced demon moved, and the blood-colored chi filled his body, turning into an afterimage, sprinting to Zhao Yuan in an instant, and punching Zhao Yuan's face with a punch. Zhao Yuan flew out backwards, and kept rolling back even when he landed. Zhao Yuan was a little stunned, and obvious pain filled his face. The bloody fist just blocked a lot with the shield, so the pain was not obvious. But now the ghost-faced demon was attacking directly at Zhao Yuan's weak spot, and Zhao Yuan almost couldn't hold the shield in his hand. Zhao Yuan's SSS level anti-armor was triggered, and a looming armor of thorns appeared on his body. The ghost-faced demon's fist seemed to be stabbed by thorns, and blood flowed continuously. Ghost-faced demon's blood volume was reduced by 1/7 again, and Zhao Yuan's blood volume was reduced by 16%. Zhao Yuan shook his head to keep himself awake, but the cooldown interval of ghost-faced demon's skills was exaggeratedly short. He could release the blood fiend fist again. This time, the ghost-faced demon crazily blasted out its scarlet fist, attacking from an unusually tricky angle, attacking at parts other than Zhao Yuan's shield. Zhao Yuan's blood volume dropped wildly, and at the same time, the SSS level true damage anti-armor was also successfully triggered. The blood volume of the ghost-faced demon plummeted again, and Zhao Yuan saw the charm of thinking and wisdom in the pupils of the human beings under the mask of the enemy's skull. Zhao Yuan instantly understood that the ghost-faced demon already knew his team's tactics, relying on anti-armor damage for output. And the ghost-faced demon's choice is also very simple, that is, to kill Zhao Yuan one step ahead of himself before he is stabbed to death by the anti-armor. Judging from the blood volume of both sides, the choice of ghost-faced demon is undoubtedly correct. After the 30-second taunt was over, Zhao Yuan's blood volume was reduced to 45%, and he quickly activated the active effect of the white magic weapon. Then Zhang Wen stepped forward. He used an SS-level bone demon to possess his body. His skin was covered with eerie symbols, and he was covered by countless white bone fragments, becoming the heart of the skeleton bone demon. After killing the Overlord-level blood-clothed female ghost, Zhang Wen naturally used the S-level bone summoning to wake up the blood-clothed female ghost's bones. Therefore, Zhang Wen also obtained the skills of the blood-clothed female ghost, and Zhang Wen chose 3 control skills. Crack, Howl, Knockback. Zhang Wen used the ground cracking, howling, and repelling skills respectively to frantically delay the attack of the ghost-faced demon. In order to delay Zhao Yuan's blood recovery, even if Zhang Wen was caught by the ghost-faced demon and bombarded with fists, he could still survive. The bone demon's attribute is very high, and he can resist the blood evil fist skill at least 3 times. Zhao Yuan has 4 blood recovery effects on his body: the blood recovery potion he drank, the madman's passive effect, the blood recovery halo, and the active effect of the white magic weapon. Therefore, it didn't take 30 seconds for the blood volume to return to more than 95%. But now Zhang Wen, not to mention 30 seconds, can do it for 90 seconds. Every time the ghost-faced demon wants to pass Zhang Wen and attack Zhao Yuan, he will be hit by one of the 3 control skills of Earth Crack, Howl, and Knockback. Shu Yushan said in the group chat of his teammates, "It seems that my mechanical tank is not needed. After every time Zhang Wen kills the Beast Tide, he will replace his bone unit again. Every time he fights, his strength will increase." Unknowingly, Zhang Wen has become a strong man who can stand on his own. Yun Ning said cautiously, "This ghost-faced demon is very intelligent. The worst result is to take advantage of the interval controlled by Zhao Yuan's taunt, and directly attack the 2 of us." Shu Yushan, "It's okay. And my mechanical tank, I can already summon 2 of them, one for life-saving, and one for Zhao Yuan and the others as a safety cabin." Zhao Yuan took over Zhang Wen after recovering to full HP, and resisted the attack of the ghost-faced demon, under the effect of SSS level sword taunting. Even a king-level creature can only be teased, attacking Zhao Yuan recklessly. Every time he punches, his blood volume will decrease by 1/7, but he can't control himself. Destroying Mountain Fist. The ghost-faced demon jumped up suddenly, and smashed Zhao Yuan with all its strength. With the power of this punch, huge rock spikes pierced out from the ground 20 meters away, and the momentum was terrifying. But it was only a punch that knocked out 36% of Zhao Yuan's HP, which is totally acceptable. So far, the 3 skills of the king-level creature ghost-faced demon have been clearly displayed. The punch is a sprint attack with incidental damage. Blood Fist is a combo, and can control the angle of his fist shadow to a certain extent. The last Mountain Destruction Fist has the highest damage, with a range of 20 meters, which is a group-destroying skill. With one punch, all the players standing in the pile will be bombarded and killed, and will be pierced by the rock spikes raised from the ground. The unknown is the most terrifying enemy. After learning about the ghost-faced demon's skills, Zhao Yuan became more and more calm. Click. Cracks appeared in the horn mask of the ghost-faced demon, half of the mask shattered, and the remaining half covered the face. Because the ghost-faced demon's blood bar has lost a tube. Therefore, the scarlet evil spirit on the ghost-faced demon has become more intense, and the attack power has been improved. Still in the same way, after Zhao Yuan's health was unhealthy, he replaced Zhang Wen's skeleton demon. Although there is a time limit for the bone demon's possession, according to the current blood loss rate, it is difficult for the ghost-faced demon to last until the time when the bone demon's possession is released after 30 minutes. However, Zhang Wen's own blood recovery attribute is very low, and the ghost-faced demon lost a tube of blood bar, the suffocation increased, and the damage increased. Sometimes it is impossible to help Zhao Yuan resist the damage, then Zhao Yuan and Zhang Wen will get into the mechanical tank. The body size of Zhang Wen's bone magic can be changed by itself, and it can even form a set of white bone armor to cover Zhang Wen, so it can be hidden in a mechanical tank. Kang, kang, clang kang. Zhao Yuan was sitting in the mechanical tank, and huge fist marks appeared on the steel plates in all directions. This was the armor of the ghost-faced demon who was frantically bombarding the tank. Zhao Yuan and Zhang Wen took advantage of this time to recover their blood continuously. As soon as the cooling time of the high-quality blood recovery potion expired, they immediately drank it. Shu Yushan said in the second mechanical tank in the corner. My S-level mechanical repair can quickly increase the durability of mechanical tanks, but this skill is released at close range. Yun Ning. This is enough now. The armor of a mechanical tank can resist the ghost-faced demon for at least 45 seconds, and even Zhao Yuan's madmen can recover 45% of their blood volume, not to mention the stacking of other blood recovery effects, together. Zhao Yuan looked at the dense fist pits in all directions, and said in surprise, "Why is there no movement? My taunting with the sword is not good enough, the ghost-faced demon can't be." Boom. After the ghost-faced demon broke free from the disgusting taunting control, he immediately used his punches to sprint to the tank where Yun Ning and the two were riding in the corner of the hall. Crazy bombardment of this tank's steel armor. Shu Yushan immediately said in the group chat with his teammates, "Don't panic. We're fine. Even if it is fully smashed, it will take more than 45 seconds to break open. I still have S-level mechanical repair skills." Shu Yushan took out a special firearm in the tool bag beside him, which was a laser spray gun for repairing mechanical products. At this time, Shu Yushan used S-class mechanical repair skills, holding a spray gun with a sci-fi style, and constantly repaired the tank itself, 7. The durability of the mechanical tank's madness began to rise rapidly, and it could withstand at least 90 seconds. And it didn't even take 12 seconds for Zhao Yuan's taunt to cool down again. In this way, Zhao Yuan's team formed a three-party damage-sharing formation, relying on the characteristics of their respective skills to realize a plan that only existed in conjecture. Although the ghost-faced demon knew that Yunning was the most important person, as long as Yunning was killed, the halo effect on the other three would be lost. The skills of mechanical tanks and bone demons cannot continue to be released, and these people will all die under its punch. But the SSS level sword drawing taunt is really unsolvable, and the majestic king level creature has only the last blood bar left. The horn mask on his face was completely shattered, revealing a cold human face. Battle information. The ghost-faced demon loses the second blood bar, its own evil spirit is raised to the highest stage, and the damage is strengthened. Attacked by the skill, Destroying Mountain Fist, the blood volume is reduced by 50%, triggering SSS level anti-armor, causing 6.5 W points of real damage. 2,600 blood points. 0.256 blood points. 0.226 blood points. The less HP the ghost-faced demon has, the heavier the evil spirit will be, and at the same time, the real damage of anti-armor will be higher. In this state, the ghost-faced monster would be killed by the real damage reflection without punching a few punches, but at the same time Zhao Yuan couldn't bear a few punches himself. Seeing that his blood volume had dropped to 9%, Zhao Yuan activated the 24-hour cooldown of the wilderness active effect. Instantly healed all injuries. At the same time, Zhao Yuan activates the dominance effect of the barbarian costume, and is immune to the crippling deceleration state of the enemy's blood fiend fist. In the end, with Zhao Yuan, the bone demon, and the two mechanical tanks taking turns sharing the damage, the ghost-faced demon was counter-injured by his own attack and died. When his blood bar returned to 0, everyone finally breathed a sigh of relief. If he didn't die, the ending might be reversed. After all, Zhao Yuan's Fanatic's active effect cooldown is 24 hours. The ghost-faced devil's body crashed down, and Zhang Wen immediately released the S-level bone call to wake up the ghost-faced devil's bones. My god, the skeleton of a king-level creature. Zhang Wen jumped up excitedly. Although there are only 50% of the attributes, but with the addition of other 3,000 units of bone creatures, rounding up, it is equivalent to having a full version of the king-level summoner. What's more, I am possessed by a bone demon, and I confuse with a king-level creature. Boom. The four of them were splashed with a bright golden light at the same time. In the difficulty of the abyss, after the death of a king-level creature, the experience points given are naturally extremely rich. Battle information. Kill a king-level creature, get 260,000 experience points, and increase the player level to level 19, 56%. Strength and physique attributes increase by 20 points, and agility and intelligence attributes increase by 5 points. Killing the target triggers the talent, hundreds of millions of times proficiency, and the current acquisition multiplier is 20 times. Use skills to kill the target, and get a total of 16 W points of skill proficiency * 20 times. SS's level anti-armor increased by 3 levels, SSS level sword drawing taunt increased by 3 levels, SSS level madman increased by 4 levels, and SSS level sanction windbreaker increased by 5 levels. A piece of battle information emerged, and Zhao Yuan improved from level 18 to 56% of level 19 in one breath, and he was still short of 44% of experience points before reaching level 20, performing a second turn, and obtaining a brand new cornerstone ability. Finally, it's the exciting time to open the box. After playing such a long dungeon, Qingyan Town is almost turned upside down, because of the dungeon gift box that can be obtained after clearing the level. Dungeon information. The dungeon has been cleared. It took 35 hours in total. The number of participants is 4. The difficulty of the dungeon is abyss level. The score is being settled. The player team has obtained an SSS level score under the abyss level difficulty, and the dungeon gift box is being distributed. Global announcement. The level 20 dungeon clearance record has been refreshed, and the current record is the hidden difficulty abyss SSS score. Global announcement. Level 20 dungeon clearance record has been refreshed. Global announcement. The global announcement sounded 3 times in total, but the 4 of them didn't care at all, and each got a beautiful wooden box that seemed to be carved out of silver white wood. Zhao Yuan opened the SSS rated copy gift box, and a soft mottled halo overflowed from the box. The player has obtained level 20 blue equipment, 8-piece set, thick soil bell, blue magic weapon, pet mystery key, light gold campaign order 2, unit reincarnation symbol 2500, 5000 W copper coins, proficiency potion medium *10, 50 free attribute points. This is only Zhao Yuan's reward alone. The other three have opened their own items for the SSS level customs clearance gift boxes. Zhao Yuan saw that the task of defeating the dead in his taskbar was automatically ticked, and the reward he got was a pet secret realm key of light gold quality, which appeared together in the dungeon gift box. All four of them were filled with joy, their eyes were shining, and they each checked their rewards. The first is the 8-piece blue equipment set at level 20, and the player's equipment column has 9 pieces, because the weapon of this set of blue equipment is a two-handed shield, occupying 2 grids of the weapon and the offhand weapon. So it's an 8-piece suit, but the uncomfortable thing is that Zhao Yuan is only level 19 now, and he won't be able to wear this set of level 20 equipment for a while. Then there is the magic weapon of blue quality. Thick soil bell. Quality, blue. Level, LV1 upgradable. Attributes, blood volume plus 5000, physical defense plus 150, magic defense plus 150, resistance plus 25. Special effect. After being activated actively, a 5% damage reduction effect will be obtained within 3 minutes, and the cooling time is 10 minutes. This is only an attribute of LV1, and it can be continuously upgraded after consuming copper coins, and both basic attributes and active special effects can be improved. Magical weapons are rare, especially blue magic weapons, but among all the rewards, only the Pet Secret Realm Key of light gold quality is the most dazzling. Pet Secret Key. Quality. Light gold. Effect. After opening, a secret channel can be randomly opened, and there is a chance to encounter pets of light gold quality in the secret. Conquest order. After using it, you can initiate a guild war. The opponent has no right to refuse the battle, and you cannot use the conquest order for those who have experienced the guild war within 3 days. Needless to say, the 2500 unit reincarnation talisman can reincarnate 2500 units of pterodactyl cavalry, which greatly speeds up the development of the Warlords Guild. Potion of proficiency. Quality. Medium. Effect. After using it, you can get 10,000 freely allocated skill proficiency points. As for the 50 free attribute points, Zhao Yuan naturally focused all of them on his physique. Now Zhao Yuan's attribute panel is 0.7. Name, Zhao Yuan. Level, LV19, 46%, 100%. HP, 37W. Mana, 2300. Strength, 250. Constitution, 450. Agility, 110. Intelligence, 110. Physical attack, 2630. Physical defense, 19W. Magic defense, 18W. Talent, Eternal Blessing, unique. Hundreds of millions of proficiency, unique. The current proficiency acquisition multiple is 20.0 times. Cornerstone ability, Anti-Armor LV70 SSS level. Madman LV66 SSS level. Skill, Draw a Knife and Taunt LV65 SSS level. The taunt range is 2800 meters, and the taunt lasts for 30 seconds. Sanction Windbreaker LV46 SSS level. Passive effect, 800 meters range burning field. Active effects. Backpack. First level Strengthening Stone 12. Skill Talisman SSS level Dragon Flame Singing Technique Troop Tiger Amulet 1. Blue Equipment 9-piece set Campaign Order 2. Troop Reincarnation Symbol 2500. Pet Mystery Key Light Gold Proficiency Potion Medium *10. Copper Coins 5484W. Competitive Coins 335. Magic Weapon Thick Earth Bell LV1 Blue. Costume Bull Costume White. Accessory Zisha Ring Purple. Although the 4 of them have greatly improved, it seems that Zhang Wen is the biggest beneficiary. A King level Summon, 3 powerful fist skills, and Zhang Wen can also use bone demons to possess and fuse. Zhao Yuan looked at the 10 bottles of medium-sized proficiency potions in his backpack. After drinking all of them, he could gain 100,000 skill proficiency points. Zhao Yuan is about to level 20, and he plans to keep improving his new skills. For these SSS level skills above level 60, the proficiency of these 100,000 skills can be increased by 1 level at most, and the effect is not obvious. Zhao Yuan was the first to speak. You all got the pet secret key? Yunning replied. It should be 1 manpower. This is the reward given by the mayor for the quest of breaking the dead, and it will be distributed in the dungeon gift box together. Mine is a purple quality secret key. Zhang Wen. I am also purple. Shu Yushan. The same. Zhao Yuan went on to say. Mine is a light gold quality secret key. This secret is entered by a single person, and we will be separated from each other. Yunning, you'd better open this secret realm key after you have enough combat power, otherwise the risk factor is very high. Shu Yushan. It's too uncomfortable. I got a set of level 20 blue equipment, but I'm only level 18. There is still a distant level 2 before I can wear it. Zhang Wen smiled and said, I'm content, a king level summoned item, the flame demon is the overlord level, I feel that I am already the top powerhouse in the same level. I'm going to abuse people in the arena. Speaking of the arena, Zhao Yuan remembered that there were still 1,000 units of reincarnation symbols in the first order competitive mall that he had not bought. After reaching level 20, he could no longer enter the first order arena. Then the 4 chose to withdraw from the dungeon, and immediately entered the night. The other 3 chose to go to dinner, fill their stomachs, and then enter the competitive mall to fight for many hours in one breath. Zhao Yuan must have returned to the guild station first and used up the 2,500 units of the unit's reincarnation charm. The global announcement just now caused a lot of shock in various countries and regions. Most of the players were a little stunned. What is the hidden difficulty? Isn't the dungeon difficulty constant? How did this team that broke the global record trigger the hidden difficulty? The Abyss level SSS score, although I don't know the specific details, but the gold content is too high, right? Hey, we made a dungeon, and we couldn't even reach the final stage, so we were killed by monsters in the middle, and we had to choose to quit, or we would lose our lives. Why are these geniuses so perverted? Another melon-eating player smiled and said, it must be a lucky new player who has obtained S level or even SS level skills. Otherwise, how could it be possible to set a global record? If I had S level skills, I could do the same thing. Another player retorted. Stop imagining, the hidden sub-system under this Doomsday game can only ensure that the lower limit of the next skill will not be too low, and cannot directly determine the final level of the skill. Even if you are a SSS level capable person and the hidden score reaches its peak, the hidden subsystem can only guarantee that the lower limit of the next skill is S level. As for the upper limit, that thing really depends on fate. The surrounding melon-eating players suddenly realized, so it is, I always thought that the hidden score determines the final level of the next skill. It turned out that it can only ensure that the lower limit is not bad, and the upper limit depends on fate. This global announcement doesn't even have a national area label. I don't know which country is a genius player. Zhao Yuan teleported to the guild station, because it was about to enter the night, so most of the pterosaur cavalry were crawling in the open space in the guild. As the level of the pterosaur cavalry continues to increase, the size of the pterosaur will also increase, and the rock-like gray-white scales become more primitive and hard. There is some dragon blood in the blood, so the erected pupils are full of wild aura. The commander of the barracks was nearby, and immediately went forward to report, Master President, the development of the guild is going well, and before the end of the protection period, it will definitely be able to form a scale sufficient to protect itself. This is a map of the surrounding terrain that I personally drew. I took a pterosaur to explore the surrounding area and marked some beast forces. Zhao Yuan took the map, thinking that he is worthy of being a general of purple quality. Although the picture is not very good, it is simple and clear. On this hand-painted map, Zhao Yuan saw many beast PowerPoints, all of which were marked with grades, numbers, and races. This is. Zhao Yuan pointed to a red cross on the map and asked. The battalion commander suddenly showed a complicated expression, and replied, there is a pure-blooded red dragon of level 40 sleeping here. Pure blood. Are you sure it's pure blood? How did you survive? Zhao Yuan exclaimed. The battalion commander later recalled fearfully. At that time, I didn't even see the red dragon, and the pterosaur I was riding was trembling all over. If I didn't have the group boosting skills, I would have fallen to my death at that time. Later, I witnessed the red dragon leave the dragon cave and hunt down the powerful beasts nearby. The body of this red dragon is really magnificent, as if it is a work of art carved by a craftsman who devoted his life to it. Every scale on the body seems to have been calculated to the extreme, and it can even be said to be beautiful. Zhao Yuan nodded and said, I understand, a dragon with such a form, even if it is not pure blood, is almost enough. Until we grow up, this dragon cave must not be approached. Zhao Yuan patted the battalion commander on the shoulder and said, Thank you for your hard work. Then Zhao Yuan came to the troop reincarnation pool in the center of the open space and chose to consume 2,500 troop reincarnation symbols. 2,500 units of level 5 pterodactyl cavalry climbed out of it. When the general unit was first reincarnated, it was only level 1, but the initial state of the pterosaur cavalry was level 5, which was much ahead of other forces. Zhao Yuan opens the guild panel. Second level guild deceitful soldiers. President, Zhao Yuan. Vice President, Yun Ning. Guild experience, 40W. Guild funds, 30W. Guild supplies, 0. Guild arms, 6,412 units pterodactyl cavalry light gold. Guild buildings, guild halls, warehouses, walls. Guild NPC, steward purple, battalion commander purple. Guild members, 4 people up to 3,000 people. After consuming 2,500 unit reincarnation charms, the total number of units reached 6,412 units. This is a light gold unit, not those blue junk units. Only 500 units can be reincarnated for every 200,000 guild supplies. The better the quality of this unit, the higher the value of the unit's reincarnation talisman. There are also 1,000 pieces in the arena waiting for Zhao Yuan to buy. The light gold quality actually corresponds to the king level, but the pterodactyl cavalry obviously don't have the exaggerated attributes of the ghost-faced demon. The guild arms rely on numbers and crowds. Zhao Yuan came to the guild hall, which was a bit deserted, and the middle-aged butler said respectfully, Master President, is this the end of the dungeon trip? Are you going to join the guild's pterodactyl army tomorrow? Zhao Yuan nodded and said, That's right. 4 of us will join the Pterosaur Legion tomorrow to capture those powerful beast forces at level 20. Although the Pterosaur cavalry alone can destroy these fierce beast tribes, with the addition of our team, we can minimize the damage of the troops. Chapter 71. In fact, in a normal guild, steward NPCs are much more busy than generals. Every day tens of thousands of guild members come to receive guild tasks, open guild stores, contribute funds and supplies to the guild. These things need to be handled by the steward, and even the guild tasks are handled by an NPC, and the guild store, guild contribution, and guild warehouse are each in charge of an NPC. But the Guild of Deceitful Soldiers is quite special, with only 4 people, so the steward is free, but the cavalry on the back of the pterosaur has its own wisdom and can communicate with the steward. Zhao Yuan said, Don't worry, our guild will increase the number of people soon, it should be. After dealing with the guild's affairs, Zhao Yuan teleported back to Qingyan town. After he bought some food in the system mall to fill his stomach, he went to the arena. Zhao Yuan also thought it over clearly. In such a small Qingyan town, it is impossible for a new S-level skill to appear. I was able to meet Xu Yushan because of Zhao Yuan's good luck. If there are S-level ability users in Qingyan town, they will definitely appear when the Balrog invades, and they will be able to enter the top 10 in the battlefield scoreboard. Therefore, there is only one way to find new S-level ability users to become teammates, the arena. Zhao Yuan wanted to be the strongest in the Tier 1 arena in Qingyan town, and then he would be able to open a wider range of matches and encounter geniuses from other towns. Of course, all S-level skill users have their own pride. Even if they encounter one, whether they can successfully recover or invite them successfully depends on Zhao Yuan's own means. Before starting the match, Zhao Yuan spent a small amount of copper coins to inherit the level of the white magic weapon to the thick soil bell. However, the copper coins consumed to upgrade the white magic weapon are much less than the blue magic weapon, so after the inheritance is successful, the level of the thick earth bell must be far lower than level 17. The magic weapon has been successfully inherited, and the thick soil bell has been upgraded to LV7. Zhao Yuan still has more than 54 million copper coins, all of which were thrown on the blue magic weapon. Anyway, the copper coins consumed on the magic weapon can be inherited to the new magic weapon, and there will never be a loss. Spending 190,000 copper coins, the Thick Earth Bell was upgraded to LV8, spending 24,000 copper coins, and the Thick Earth Bell was upgraded to LV9, spending 33,000 copper coins, spending 46,000 copper coins. A total of 5200W of copper coins was spent, and the blue magic weapon Thick Earth Bell was upgraded to LV37. Thick Soil Bell. Quality: blue. Level: LV37 upgradable. Attributes: blood volume plus 5W, physical defense plus 1W, magic defense plus 1W, resistance plus 2000. Effect: after active activation, an 8% damage reduction effect will be obtained within 3 minutes, and the cooling time is 10 minutes. After reaching LV37, it takes more than 300W copper coins to continue to upgrade to 1 level. Wearing the LV37 Thick Earth Bell, Zhao Yuan's blood volume increased by 5W, and his physical and magic defense increased by 1W each. And the damage reduction effect of the active special effect has reached 8%. The magic weapon is a very rare item. Among the 4 members of the team, only Yunning got one. The attribute bonus after the magic weapon is upgraded is very exaggerated. Zhao Yuan's blood volume was already heading towards 400,000. He entered the arena and chose to start the match. On the first stage, Zhao Yuan faced an opponent wearing a mage's robe. After the 3-second countdown ended, several arrows formed by the interweaving of thunder and lightning shot towards Zhao Yuan. Zhao Yuan was hit by the lightning arrow, and the opponent's mage's blood bar disappeared instantly. The opponents were all dumbfounded. Where's my health bar? The opponent opened the battle information to check, and saw 9,632 points of real damage and counter injury, and his own blood volume was only more than 8,000 points. Zhao Yuan's SSS level anti-armor is based on the opponent's attack attributes, which include physical attacks and magic attacks. If a mage player confronts Zhao Yuan, he will be extremely passive, and his blood volume will be low. If he performs real damage reflection according to the magic attack, it will almost kill him instantly. Arena information. Win the duel, get 4,563 experience points, 1225 skill proficiency points *20 times 55 competitive coins, plus 1 winning streak. Zhao Yuan continued to match, and the winning streak continued to increase. Half an hour later, Zhao Yuan's winning streak increased to 115 games. An hour later, Zhao Yuan's winning streak reached 200 games. Zhao Yuan even met Yun Ning and Xu Yushan. This time, Zhao Yuan matched Zhang Wen. Zhang Wen's strength skyrocketed after obtaining the king-level summoning item. During the 3-second countdown, Zhao Yuan could see that Zhang Wen had won 296 games in a row. Zhang Wen said, "If I get matched with you, my winning streak will definitely end." Zhao Yuan replied, "That's not necessarily the case. You go all out and let me see how strong you are now." Zhang Wen said with a smile, "I'm definitely going to fight with all my strength. We brothers, it doesn't matter who wins or loses." At this time, the 3-second countdown was over, and Zhao Yuan finally said, "I'm looking forward to you being able to steal my limelight, so that someone can bear half of the danger for me." Bone Giant Beast. Zhang Wen summoned all the bone creatures in the space to turn into fragments, all condensed together, with the bones of the ghost-faced demon as the main unit. The final form is a humanoid skeleton, a monstrosity with a pair of curved horns. Bone Demon Possessed. Zhang Wen was covered by countless broken bone fragments, which were fused with the summoned objects, and the final skeleton and bone demon had terrifyingly high attributes. Skeleton Bone Demon Fusion. Quality: King Class. Level: LV30. Strength: 4,600. Constitution: 4,600. Agility: 4,600. Intelligence: 1,000. Skills: Punching Fist, Blood Fiend Fist, Mountain Destroying Fist, Howling. Zhao Yuan said, "Your Bone Demon possession already has 4 skill slots." The Skeleton Bone Demon nodded and said, "After clearing the dungeon, the SS level Bone Demon Possessed has been upgraded to level 50, which has achieved a lot of evolution. Fist Punch, Blood Fist, Destroying Mountain Fist, Howling, Zhao Yuan activates the active special effect of the Thick Earth Bell, which reduces damage by 8% within 3 minutes, holds the shield in both hands, and releases the sword-drawing taunt. After Zhao Yuan experienced the battle with the ghost-faced demon, his shield skills improved to a higher level. Blocking the enemy's attack with a perfect angle can greatly reduce the damage. Zhao Yuan and Zhang Wen fought fiercely for 7 minutes, and Zhao Yuan healed all injuries in an instant with the active effect of the madman. Only then did he defeat Zhang Wen by relying on real retaliation, and he only had 8% of his health left. As a confidant and friend, Zhao Yuan is very pleased that Zhang Wen has become stronger, which means that the Jibing Guild is no longer supported by him as a pillar, but Yun Ning, Zhang Wen, and Zhao Yuan can all become the Jibing Guild row of noodles. Shu Yushan was far worse. If enemies from other countries tried to teleport over and assassinate Zhao Yuan, then Zhang Wen would definitely be a deadly trump card. After experiencing the assassination of an SSS level ninja last time, Zhao Yuan has been guarding against similar possibilities. Because of the ninja skills, usually the players in the Sakura Kingdom will draw it, and there is a high probability that the Sakura Kingdom wants to kill Sha Kingdom's newcomer powerhouse. Use the skill talisman to print the skills of the Sha Kingdom's new geniuses, and transfer them to suitable Sakura Kingdom players for use. Arena information. Victory in the duel, 6,658 experience points, 1561 skill proficiency points * 20 times 100 competitive coins, and the current 285 game winning streak. The player has reached the top as the strongest in the First Order arena in Qingyan Town, and has opened a wider range of matching, which can match opponents in other towns. Zhao Yuan is now level 19, and all the matched enemies are lower than level 20. At this stage, he is almost invincible, whether it is Qingyan Town or other Sha Kingdom towns. Zhao Yuan continued the match. This time his opponent was a very strong level 19 player. His skills should be a mix of A-level and B-level skills. It was considered very strong, but it was still not enough. Zhao Yuan was looking for an S-level player. But this is good news. As long as Zhao Yuan continues to match and maintain his winning streak, he can encounter stronger players in the First Order. Zhao Yuan has been competing until 12 o'clock in the evening, and the winning streak has reached 392 games. Arena information. Players win streak games +1, achieve 392 consecutive victories, and get a total of 6,321 competitive coins. Except for a small amount of experience points and skill proficiency, Zhao Yuan's biggest gain is naturally 6,321 competitive coins. In addition to the previous remainder, Zhao Yuan now has a total of 6,856 competitive coins. He opened the competitive mall, and the unit reincarnation charm is 10 competitive coins. The purchase limit is 1,000 yuan. Zhao Yuan spent 6,850 competitive coins to buy 685 units of the reincarnation charm. With the purchase limit of 315 remaining, Zhao Yuan entered the guild station, and after using these arms reincarnation charms, the total number of arms reached 7,097 units, and then returned to the inn to rest. Early in the morning, Zhao Yuan woke up, came to the first floor of the inn, and bought some light breakfast. Yun Ning was also beside him. Zhao Yuan said, "My plan today is to join the pterosaur cavalry team and destroy the nearby beast forces. Your halo blessing on the pterosaur cavalry will definitely have a huge effect." Yun Ning nodded and said, "It can kill beasts to increase the level, and it can speed up the development of the guild. This is naturally the best choice. Now we still have a 3-day guild protection period, and there are still 2 major forces left in Qingyan Town. One is Yuxia, and the other is the joint organization of Milan and Lin Fen." While eating breakfast, Zhao Yuan analyzed, "Let the 2 of them fight first, and we will participate in the competition after the situation is clear." Zhang Wen and Shu Yushan also left the hotel room one after another, and the 4 of them enjoyed a light and delicious breakfast together. Zhang Wen recalled, "I played against Zhao Yuan yesterday and the winning streak was interrupted, but then I resumed my winning streak and started a wider match before leaving. I've been able to play against Sha Kingdom players in other towns." Shu Yushan said, "My short-term goal is to save competitive coins and buy a wing item. Although low-level wings will only increase attributes, even gliding can't be done, but it is definitely worth the money." At the same time, Zhou Heng and Li Sheng found Zhang Kai, the former Huahu captain. After the guild war between Huahu Guild and Yuxia ended, Huahu was forcibly disbanded, but the prestige of the president Zhang Kai was still there, and he was able to summon nearly 30,000 players. Give him a little time, and there is a chance to make a comeback. Of course, even if Huahu re-establishes a guild, Wang Hansheng of Yuxia will definitely provoke a guild war after the end of the 7-day protection period, stifling the possibility of Huahu's development. And Milan's Zhou Heng found Zhang Kai, brother Zhang, my current enemy is Wang Hansheng of Yuxia. Our goals are the same, but I don't know if you want revenge. Zhang Kai responded, okay. I will join you, this is my only possibility for revenge. Although Zhou Heng expected Zhang Kai to agree, he didn't expect it to go so smoothly. In one sentence, there was an increase of nearly 30,000 combat power. Zhou Heng, brother Zhang can summon the previous guild members in advance. It won't be long before this last battle will be provoked by us. Li Sheng sent a private message to Zhou Heng and said. At that time, the guild battle between Huahu and Yuxia was extremely tragic. Although it is a guild battle initiated with a battle order, it is protected by a system mechanism. After the player dies, the level will drop and will not really die. But in the first battle, all the members of the Huahu guild were red-eyed. One of Zhongqi's vice presidents was killed 5 times in a row, resurrected 5 times, and his level dropped by 5. We still have to continue fighting. In the end, Huahu's guild crystal was destroyed, and the guild was forcibly disbanded. Zhou Heng responded, so Huahu's help is extremely reliable. Don't worry about Huahu stabbing us in the back. What they really want to do is revenge, and they don't care about our future summit. With the participation of Huahu's old team, we will have an extra battle against Yusha. Next, let's find Shuji. What? Li Sheng frowned and said, the Mountain Ghost Guild was defeated by us and disbanded under persecution. This bundle of aid or not helping Yuxia is considered a good thing. How could it possibly join us? Even Wang Hansheng may have wooed the old mountain ghosts as a means to fight against us. We can think of winning Huahu, and he, Wang Hansheng, must also think of recruiting mountain ghosts. Zhou Heng smiled and said, who knows? Go see him and talk about it. Li Sheng, by the way, don't we have a private message from friends? Why did you come to Zhang Kai and Shuji in person? Zhou Heng, by seeing them in person, I can confirm whether these people can really be used by us. The Magma Mountain has become a popular upgrade area in Qingyan Town, because all the beasts here are magma attributes, and only the skills of water and ice can easily kill these monsters. And the density of monsters in the Magma Mountain is very high, and the terrain is so simple, you can easily kill large magma monsters. In addition, the hidden overlord creatures here have been killed, and players do not have to worry about being chased by boss-level beasts. The highest active volcano in the Magma Mountains, except for a few occasional slight vibrations, has completely fallen asleep. A few days ago, I saw heat gushing out of the crater, but now it has completely disappeared. A water mage said. Yeah, the monsters here can provide more experience points after death. The risk factor is low, but the rewards are a lot. As long as you go out with enough medicine, you can brush from morning to afternoon. The 4 Zhao Yuan teleported into the guild station, and the pterosaurs were eating the corpses of the beasts. The cavalry on the back of the pterosaurs thoroughly roasted the meat of the beast as food. If a unit has no food source for a long time, its loyalty will drop significantly, and it will even betray the guild in the end. The intensity of some white and green garbage units is too low, and a day's hunting and harvesting may not even be able to maintain the food for the units. However, the strength of the light gold quality troops is exaggerated, and the source of food is not a problem at all. You only need to go out with the troops, and you can definitely bring back enough food stocks to last for more than 3 days. Zhao Yuan opened the map drawn by the battalion commander, pointed at a level 20 beast force and said, let's start with this PowerPoint is the closest to us. Zhang Wen, you are the president, you have the final say. Zhao Yuan, battalion commander. Gather the pterodactyl cavalry team, we will set off immediately. Holding an iron spear in one hand and a square shield in the other, the battalion commander immediately assembled all the pterosaur cavalry. The cavalry rode on the back of the pterosaurs one after another, and they carried a large number of bows and arrows, as well as short-handled spears. The 7,000-plus units of arms have begun to take shape, and Zhao Yuan let 4 cavalry come down from the back of the pterosaur. Replaced by 4 members, Zhao Yuan sat on the saddle of the pterodactyl and commanded. The whole army set off. The pterosaurs spread their membrane-covered wings one after another, rose into the air, and flew in the designated direction. Zhao Yuan looked down at his guild's residence, which was covered by a hazy halo. This was the system's protection for the new guild. No matter how powerful the creatures were, they couldn't damage the barrier in the slightest. The pterodactyl team skimmed through the thick clouds, and Zhao Yuan couldn't keep his eyes open from the cold wind blowing on his face, but it will be fine after getting used to it. Zhang Wen said excitedly. This is too exciting, we can also be regarded as a dragon knight. The flight of this pterosaur is smoother than I imagined, but when I look down, I can't help but imagine the scene of falling. Xu Yushan also said in the group chat of his teammates, I will definitely be able to make a machine similar to an aircraft in the future, which will be much smoother and more comfortable than this. Yun Ning's body is filled with 4 different halos, with her as the center, spreading out to a range of more than 5,000 meters. The pterosaur cavalry with 7,000-plus units are all shrouded in a 4-layer halo. Whether it is blood volume, blood recovery, magic recovery, or blood-sucking attributes, the combat power of the pterosaur cavalry can be greatly enhanced. Zhao Yuan is riding a pterosaur of level 11, which is the highest level. Zhao Yuan checks the attributes of the pterosaur. Wyvern cavalry. Quality. Light gold. Level. LV11 can be upgraded by killing enemies. Health value. 6W. Mana. 6,000. Power. 1,500. Constitution. 1,500. Agility. 1,500. Intelligence. 1,000. Skills. Dragon blood, dragon flame, projection. Among them, the dragon blood skill is a passive ability, which can increase the overall attributes of the pterosaur, but the increase rate is relatively moderate. The dragon flame skill is a long-range magic attack, which needs to consume the magic value of the pterosaur itself. And after possessing Yun Ning's magic recovery halo, the pterosaur can frequently use the dragon flame skill. The final projection skill is that the cavalry on the back of the pterosaur can project arrows and short-handled spears, which is also a long-range attack method. Zhao Yuan stretched out his right hand, and was able to even touch the dense clouds, watching the clouds being scattered by him and passing through his fingers. After flying for nearly 50 minutes, the battalion commander ordered the legion to descend the flight altitude. Zhao Yuan saw a black spot gradually enlarged, which was the kobold tribe of level 20. The information marked on the map is that the average level is 20, the number is not less than 190,000, and there are overlord-level creatures. The battalion commander said to Zhao Yuan, President, do you have any tactics? Zhao Yuan, the tactics are very simple. The 4 of us arrived on the ground to cooperate with the offensive of the Air Force. Zhao Yuan's team drove the pterosaurs down and finally landed safely, while 7,000-plus units of pterosaur cavalry were in midair. Zhao Yuan ordered, destroy the kobold tribe. Xu Yushan summoned a mechanical tank, and he and Yun Ning entered the interior of the tank. Yun Ning's halo was centered on himself, covering a radius of 5,000 meters. Therefore, the pterosaur legion in midair can be completely covered. The kobold tribe also has its own buildings and city walls. Zhao Yuan said to Zhang Wen, help me break open the city gate. Fight all the way in, our task is to minimize the damage of the pterosaur cavalry. Zhang Wen directly turned on the bone demon's possession, became the heart of the bone demon, and transformed into a 10-meter-high skeleton bone demon. Destroying Mountain Fist. Zhang Wen jumped up, and suddenly punched the ground with a terrifying force, directly collapsing the city wall. At the same time, under the effect of the skill, 20-meter rock spikes protruded from the ground, directly destroying the foundation of the city wall. Woo! The kobold horn sounded, and a large number of kobolds entered the fighting state. Under the leadership of the kobold leader, 4 people came to kill Zhao Yuan. Zhao Yuan stood on the shoulder of the skeleton bone demon, and jumped into the pile of monsters with the largest number at this time, activated the saber taunt, and activated the active effect of sanctioning the windbreaker. Boom! The kobolds at a distance of 1,600 meters near Zhao Yuan were all contaminated by pitch-black flames, and their blood volume dropped crazily. Battle information. Actively activate the Sanction Windbreaker, causing 3,521 points of serious injury and burning damage to enemies within 1600 meters per second. Since the burning effect of the punishment Windbreaker is determined according to Zhao Yuan's own defense and blood volume attributes, the burning damage has been significantly increased with the improvement of Zhao Yuan's attributes. A large area of kobolds were burned to death by the black flame. The pterodactyl army in midair also joined the battlefield. The pterosaur cavalry bowed their bows and set their arrows. Under the effect of the projection skill, they could shoot arrows over 100 meters without weakening their strength. Clank. Dense arrows floated in midair, so numerous that it seemed like a cloud of black clouds. In the next second, the overwhelming arrows pierced through the kobold's body, causing a lot of damage. This is followed by a volley of short-handled spear guns, which do more damage, and short spears are usually prepared for boss-level creatures. The kobolds suffered heavy casualties. Many kobolds were directly nailed to the ground by spears. They would not die for a while, and eventually they would bleed to death. After the initial chaos, the kobold leader directed the remaining kobolds to launch a counterattack. Beside the kobold leader is an overlord-level priest, who is waving the warhammer in his hand at this moment, releasing a wide range of healing skills. The brilliance full of vitality rained down on the group of the same race, but the blood volume of these kobolds only recovered a small part. The healing effect has been halved. This is the serious injury effect of Zhao Yuan's Sanction Windbreaker. At least 50% of the healing effect can be reduced. The lower the target's blood volume, the higher the percentage of reduced healing. That is, when the kobold has only 1% HP left, the serious injury effect will reduce the healing amount by 90%. The kobold's screams were not suspended because of the priest's group treatment, and the thing still had to die. Thousands of Lord-level and dozens of Overlord-level monsters appeared. Their eyes were red, and even if they died, they would still eat a piece of Zhao Yuan's army. But the 4 members of Zhao Yuan's team are here. The purpose is to prevent the pterosaur cavalry from being damaged in battle. Zhang Wen, who had turned on the bone demon possession, was extremely arrogant. The 3 skills of punching fist, blood fiend fist, and destroying mountain fist were not only powerful, but also had a very short cooldown. Killing wildly among Lord-level and Overlord-level kobolds is simply unstoppable. However, it is also a level 20 beast force. It will only die in battle and will not surrender. It uses long-range attacks and shoots towards the pterosaurs in the air. Shu Yushan drove a mechanical tank on a rampage, crushing some totems with buffs into pieces. The main guns and fixed turrets continuously vented their firepower. Zhao Yuan rushed to the kobold leader. Kobold leader. Quality. Overlord. Level. LV 25. Health. 19W. Magic value. 1W. Strength. 2600. Constitution. 2000. Agility. 2600. Intelligence. 1200. Skills. Bloodline Resurrection. Heavy attack. Wither. The kobold leader has a strong stature, a human body, a dog-like head, dark blue skin, and is proficient in the language of his own race. Before Zhao Yuan could make a move, the pterosaur army in midair descended, and the barracks commander activated the group cheer. The 7,000+ units of pterosaurs opened their huge fangs, and the fiery breath of fire permeated them. Dragon Flame. Boom. The 7,000 pterosaurs used the Dragon Flame skill at the same time, opening their mouths to spew out fiery orange flames. The pterosaurs spread their wings and glide while breathing dragon flames, plowing out one after another of charred ruins in the kobold tribe. The blood bar of the kobold leader fell crazily under the superposition of a large number of dragon flames, and a large number of short-handled spears flew out, running through the body of the kobold leader. It only took 3 seconds, the overlord-level creature completely died and became a coke with black smoke. 7. This is a light gold quality unit, and the strength is a mess. Next is the carnival of the pterosaurs. The dragon flames extend endlessly in this area, destroying all life. 40 minutes later, this beast force has been completely destroyed, and there are kobold corpses and burned building ruins everywhere. None of the pterosaurs died, but at most serious injuries. Under the halo of blood recovery, they would soon be able to heal themselves, and the passive skill of dragon blood could also speed up the recovery of injuries. Battle information. Level 20 kobold tribe has been destroyed. the average level of the Pterosaur cavalry unit is plus 0.4, the guild supplies plus 30W, and the guild funds plus 20W. Kill the target, get 7W experience points, and get 8W skill proficiency * 20 times. The SSS level anti-armor is increased by 1 level, the taunting of the sword is increased by 1 level, the madman is increased by 1 level, and the sanctioned trench coat is increased by 1 level. Due to the large number of troops, the experience gained by each unit is very small, but the most important thing is the guild materials. 30W is enough to reincarnate 750 units of Pterosaur cavalry. Zhao Yuan couldn't be upgraded to level 20, but it is still early today, and he should be able to upgrade to level 20 within today. The Pterosaur cavalry crawled on the ground to recover their strength, Zhao Yuan said. I still underestimated the power of the light gold quality arms. The cooldown of the Dragon Flame skill is too short. With the last magic halo, the Dragon Flame skill can be used frequently. The maintenance time of Zhongwen Bone Demon's possession has ended for 10 minutes, and now it has returned to human form. The experience is too little, this is all killed, and it only increases the experience value by 15%. Zhao Yuan. The average level of the Pterosaur cavalry has increased by 0.4 level, and the experience points are all shared by them. Let's rest for a while and let the Pterosaur cavalry recover all their injuries under the blood recovery halo before going to the next power point. Yun Ning. The attack of the sea of troops is too terrifying, and it can easily focus fire to kill overlord-level creatures. At this time, Zhou Hang had already found Shuji, the leader of the mountain ghost who was defeated by himself. Shuji said in surprise, "You came to me, wouldn't you let me join your forces and attack Yuxia together?" Zhou Hang laughed. That's right. Shuji shook his head and said, although I am convinced that I lost, the Mountain Ghost Guild is my hard work. If I don't help Wang Hansheng to deal with you, it will be a good thing. Li Sheng, who was behind Zhou Hang, couldn't understand it. Looking for an enemy to help him, wouldn't this leave him a hidden danger? A slip of a step becomes an eternal hatred. Zhou Hang continued, has Wang Hansheng been looking for you? He looked for me, but I refused. Shuji said helplessly. I was betrayed by my subordinates, and the shadow of the guild's coordinates being exposed is still there. I don't want to be involved in this kind of competition for the time being. Zhou Hang shook his head and said, no, you have to help me, you owe me. Shuji was silent. Zhou Hang, at that time, we found your guild coordinates. If I were more cruel, I could kill all your guild members and make them truly die. But I let them teleport away, including you, and I let you go. You must know that by killing players, you can gain a lot of experience points, skill proficiency, and get the opponent's equipment and skills. So you owe me a favor, now help me once, and we will clear it. Li Sheng didn't understand what Zhou Hang was doing at all, but he held back his inner activity and didn't say anything. Oh, I don't like to owe favors to others, I promise you. Shuji spread his hands and said. However, the only 30,000 members of Milan can participate in the guild battle with the expedition order. How should I participate in it? Zhou Hang explained. I know the guild coordinates of Lin Fen, and I brought people over to loot all the materials, experience, and arms reincarnation pool. This part of the experience value is enough for Milan to upgrade to the 4th level guild. At that time, the upper limit of the number of guild members will be 300,000. Shuji seemed to be recalling the scene at that time. By the way, it was you who ate all the experience points of my guild, plus Lin Fen's. It was indeed enough to upgrade to level 4. After Zhou Hang and Li Sheng left, Li Sheng said firmly in a private message. This Shuji has teamed up with Wang Hansheng. He wants to join our team and backstab. Zhou Hang retorted. You and Shuji have known each other for so long, but you still haven't seen his character clearly. Shuji has his own arrogance. He only admires those whose talents surpass him, and despises those with mediocre aptitudes. And I gave him enough dignity and face, and I didn't touch any of the members of his guild. Otherwise, do you really think I'm soft-hearted? Don't you dare to kill. The reason why I didn't kill him is to keep it for now. He owes me a favor, and he won't betray him until he returns it to me. Zhou Hang said firmly. I want to unify all the forces in Qingyan town, so that when I enter the state city, I am qualified to become the vice president of the Charm Blue Guild in the state city. Then I'm going to squeeze out the president, and I'm going to climb up step by step until the top. Li Sheng smiled and said, "It's really impossible, I just like your grand ambition, I believe in your choice." Ha ha ha. Zhou Heng leaned on Li Sheng's shoulder and whispered, "Brother, let's chat, you shouldn't like men, right?" Li Sheng, "I'll go to your uncle." As the night approached, Zhao Yuan led the pterosaur army back to the guild station. With the participation of the team of 4, a total of 4 level 20 beast forces were destroyed today. A lot of time is wasted on the road. Battle settlement. A total of 120 W of guild supplies, 50 W of guild funds, 9 W of food units, the average level of the pterosaur cavalry plus 1.2, and the battle loss is 0. Battle information. The player has been upgraded to LV20, and can go to the town for the second round. Strength. Physical attributes plus 20 points, agility, physical attributes plus 5 points. 3 cornerstone ability options appeared in front of Zhao Yuan. Option 1. The Oath. Option 2. Ironing. Option 3. Jin J Slash. Oath is a skill that helps teammates share damage, while Ironization is a purely defensive ability. Jin J Slash is an area of killing skills. There is no doubt that Zhao Yuan chose Ironing, because among all his skills, the ability to purely increase the defense value was lacking. The focus of SSS level anti-armor is on the reflection of real damage. Even after reaching level 70, the total increase in physical defense is only 19 W points. Therefore, Zhao Yuan's defense is particularly vulnerable when facing high-strength beasts. The player has chosen the S-level steel skill. Affected by the talent, Eternal Blessing, all skills will be constant at SSS level. S-grade steel is promoted to SSS grade Copperhead and Iron Back. Copperhead and Iron Back LV1 SSS level passively increase physical defense by 1.5 W points and magic defense by 1.5 W points. Active effect. Players will get a 0.5 second indestructible golden body effect. Under this effect, the defense value is doubled. If the weapon attacks the indestructible golden body, the durability will be severely deducted. 1 minute cooling time. With the SSS level, Copperhead and Iron Back skill, Zhao Yuan was completely formed. Even if Zhang Wen stepped into level 20, it was impossible to compete with Zhao Yuan. Zhao Yuan rode on the pterosaur and thought silently. Level 1 adds 1.5 W of physical and magic defense, and the level is improved very much, and it is easy to break through to the attribute of 100 W defense value. The 0.5 second undamaged golden body is also easy to understand. When facing the enemy's profound move, seize the opportunity and activate the active effect, and the defense value will be doubled. And if the enemy's weapon touches the indestructible golden body, it will be shattered by the extremely hard golden body. Unless it is a very advanced weapon, the durability will be 0 if you touch each other. This skill is also easy to understand, if you use a white weapon and a golden blade to collide with each other. That white weapon will definitely be broken instantly. Zhao Yuan in 0.5 seconds is like the golden weapon. Although it is only 0.5 seconds, this time will definitely be extended after the level is raised. And the cooldown is only 1 minute, which can be used frequently in battle. If you fight against a melee-type king-level creature again, maybe halfway through the fight, the boss's weapon will be broken, and the outcome of victory is doomed. Zhao Yuan took out 10 bottles of medium proficiency potions in his backpack and drank them all in one go. Have obtained 100,000 skill proficiency points * 20 times. With the multiplier of hundreds of millions of proficiency, Zhao Yuan directly obtained 2 million freely assignable proficiency points. Zhao Yuan smashed all 200 W proficiency on the SSS level Copper-headed Iron Back. 200 W proficiency has been consumed, and the SSS level Copperhead and Iron Back has been raised to LV37. Copperhead Iron Back LV37 SSS level passively increase 55.5 W physical defense and magic defense. Active effect. After turning it on, you will gain an indestructible golden body effect for 0.9 seconds, with a cooldown of 1 minute. This is really invincible. With 55.5 W of dual defense attributes, even a level 30 king-level creature can't break defense. In addition, the 0.9 second indestructible golden body effect has a large operating space. When facing the enemy's attack skills, the active effect is directly activated, and the defense value is doubled, so the enemy's skill damage cannot be broken. At this time, Zhao Yuan's property panel is Name, Zhao Yuan. Level, LV 20, 6%, 100%. Health, 43W. Mana, 2350. Strength, 270. Constitution, 470. Agility, 115. Intelligence, 115. Physical attack, 2710. Physical defense, 75.5W. Magic defense, 75.5W. Talent, Eternal Blessing, unique. Hundreds of millions of times the proficiency, unique. Keystone abilities, Anti-Armor LV 72, Outlaw LV 68, Copperhead and Iron Back LV 37. Skill, Draw a Knife to Taunt LV 68. Sanction Trench Coat LV 48. 75.5W of double defense, after 0.9 seconds of not bad gold is turned on, that is, the defense value of 151W. Zhao Yuan's defense value is much higher than his HP now. After the night came, the pterosaur army was still a long way away from reaching the guild station, but fortunately they did not encounter any danger. After returning to the guild station, Zhao Yuan walked near the reincarnation pool of troops, consumed 120W of guild supplies, and reincarnated 3,000 plus units of level 5 pterosaur cavalry. The current number of arms has reached 10,097 units, and finally exceeded 10,000, but the average level has dropped a lot. After all, there are 3,000 level 5 pterosaurs. The injuries on these pterosaur cavalry have all recovered as before, because Yun Ning's blood-returning halo is strong enough, even if the pterosaur's membrane-covered wings are broken, it can slowly grow back. The pterosaur cavalry began to enjoy the food, and the 4 Zhao Yuan teleported back to Qingyan town. The 4 also bought food, replenished their hunger, then took a break and prepared to go to the arena. After Zhao Yuan has been upgraded to level 20, he can open the competitive panel anytime and anywhere without having to go to the arena. But the trouble is that Zhao Yuan is already level 20, so he can no longer enter the First Order arena, nor can he enter the First Order mall. There is also a unit reincarnation with a cap of 315. Zhao Yuan did not buy it. Yun Ning said, Milan and Yuxia are also constantly developing the guild's strength, but the strength of the two sides is not much different. Milan should directly eat Lin Fun's guild materials and experience points, and then raise it to the 4th level guild, with a maximum membership of 300,000. In this way, the durability of the guild building will be significantly improved, and the number of members will also be 60,000. Zhao Yuan nodded and said, Huahu's old clan will definitely join Milan temporarily. In order to avenge himself, Milan will eventually have 90,000 guild members. 7. Thinking about it this way, if the two sides start a guild battle, Milan is likely to win. Zhang Wen added, this is not necessarily. Who knows what kind of adventures Wang Hansheng will have during this period of time. Xu Yushan held up his glasses and said, I hope the two will fight as soon as possible. It's best to fight both before the end of our guild's protection period. Zhao Yuan said with a funny smile, the last winner of the two will have a huge increase in strength, and it is very likely that they will attack our guild. The performance of the 4 of us was too strong when the Balrog invaded. A normal person can see that we have S-level or even SS level skills. The last winner has unified all the forces, and will likely choose to attack us, and even find opportunities to use tiger talismans in the wild, and call all the troops to kill them strongly, so as to replace our SS level skills. Afterwards, the 4 chose to enter the arena, and Zhao Yuan had another choice, which was the task of receiving the second accessory column. Or go to the transfer hall for the second transfer to get more attribute point rewards. However, Zhao Yuan prefers to wait for the members of the team to reach level 20, and then form a team to complete the task of accessories column and transfer tasks. After all, the 3 members are already level 19, and they will be able to level up soon. Zhao Yuan opened the arena panel and found that he had been forced into the second order arena. But fortunately, he can also match up with tier 2 players in other towns. The second tier competitive mall can buy free attribute points with a limit of 200, and can buy 2,000 unit reincarnation charms at the same time. There are even bottle props for catching pets. The better the quality of the catching bottle, the higher the success rate of catching some high-level pets. If the quality of the capture bottle is too low, even if the player is lucky and encounters a baby beast, he will not be able to successfully capture it. At the same time, the wing props in the second-order competitive mall have been upgraded to green quality. Of course, the price has also risen. When Zhao Yuan reached level 20, he met the requirements for wearing the blue 8-piece suit from the SSS level dungeon gift box. Zhao Yuan replaced all the equipment on his body and replaced it with a level 20 blue 8-piece suit, and his attributes soared again. Among them, the attributes of the two-handed shield are the most eye-catching. Celestial Bronze Shield. Quality: Blue. Type: Two-handed shield. Wear requirements: LV20. Attribute: Attacks blocked by shield block, increase physical and magic defense by 1500 points when damage is determined. That is to say, the attack blocked by this round shield will increase the physical and magic defense value by 1500 points. The equipment on Zhao Yuan's body was completely new, and the huge round shield in his hand seemed to be formed by cutting a pure copper block. It was as thick as a door panel and could cover 2/3 of Zhao Yuan's entire body. The defense value of the two-hand shield bonus is exaggerated, but it occupies 2 equipment slots for weapons and off-hand weapons. However, Zhao Yuan's damage never relies on weapons, so it has little effect on him. Wearing this set of level 20 blue equipment, Zhao Yuan's HP gradually approached 50 W points. After a few seconds of matching time, Zhao Yuan's opponent appeared on the opposite side of the second-order arena. This is a level 21 player with a two-handed épée, and the greatsword in his hand appears to be of blue quality. The moment the opponent saw Zhao Yuan, he was stunned on the spot. What's the situation? Nearly a 400 game winning streak. Still a level 20. Is this a match for a big name player? Who cares, I only have 4 consecutive victories anyway. The battle begins. Zhao Yuan didn't use any skills, he even disarmed the large shields in both hands, just waiting for the opponent to attack. Do you underestimate me? Are you so crazy? Coupled with his nearly 400 game winning streak, there is no doubt that the boss. The épée player said to himself. However, the sword in my hand is a level 20 blue two-handed sword. I also spent a lot of copper coins to strengthen it and inlaid 4 second-level gems. Even if the enemy is the most powerful, he is only level 20. I don't believe that he won't lose any blood. Épée players release 2 skills, one is Rage, which increases their attack speed and strength. One is the Power Cleave skill, AC level single output skill. The épée player used all his strength to slash at Zhao Yuan's head. Under the special effect of the Power Slash skill, the sword seemed extremely heavy, as if it was going to split Zhao Yuan in half from the middle. Zhao Yuan's expression did not change, he counted the time and activated the active effect of the indestructible golden body. Kang! The two collided with each other, and a crisp and distant roar broke out. Zhao Yuan's body was covered with an unusually faint golden halo, but it flashed by because it only lasted 0.9 seconds. The épée player's mouth cracked instantly, a large amount of blood flowed out of his hands, and his arms were trembling. The level 20 strengthened +15 blue giant sword in his hand has a fist-sized gap, and the durability has dropped by nearly half. The épée player also triggered the SSS level anti-armor, and the blood bar disappeared instantly, leaving only the last blood skin. How is this possible? My blue giant sword is about to be completely broken. If it is completely broken, my mentality will collapse. This is the most expensive piece of equipment on my body. Although the épée players have severe pain in their hands, they can't resist the heartache of the blue giant sword being severely damaged. Is this man a monster? I cut off his head. Although he wears a helmet, how can he be so hard? If it was blocked with a large shield with his hands, then I would recognize it, but it turned out to be carrying my heavy sword with my head. The épée player saw Zhao Yuan walk a few steps, and panicked. I admit defeat. Stop fighting. If you hit me again, the weapon will be broken and become waste. Now it can be repaired. The épée player immediately chose to surrender. Zhao Yuan's victory +1, and the enemy's attack, Power Chop. Just now, Zhao Yuan didn't even lose 1 HP, because the moment he opened the indestructible golden body, Zhao Yuan's defense the value is doubled to 151 W points. The current Zhao Yuan has basically taken shape, and the follow-up skills are just icing on the cake, even if they are amazing. Zhao Yuan has been opening matches, and the winning streak has continued to grow. Arena information. Victory in the duel, 6,658 experience points, 2,531 skill proficiency points *20 times 215 competitive coins, and the current winning streak is 456 games. Zhao Yuan just kept matching, always matching. Anyway, a match would not take 6 seconds. Until Zhao Yuan reached a 768-game winning streak, he encountered a swordsman player with a plain sword in white. This person is really a sword brow, star-eyed, arrogant and elegant, and his level is 23. Zhao Yuan saw that the opponent had a winning streak of 685 games. Could this be an S-level skill? After the battle started, the swordsman player's heart seemed to have turned into a bright sun, emitting a golden internal flame. The whole person was covered by internal force. Zhao Yuan could feel a little hot and dry from a long distance. Zheng, the enemy, drew his sword, and when the sword was unsheathed, his whole body seemed to be filled with sword energy. This is a skill special effect that a level 23 player can have. It must be a person with the ability above S level. Zhao Yuan made his own judgment. 9 Swords of Dugu. Sword breaking style. Clank. Zheng. The swordsman's arm-wheel sword was not very fast, but the plain sword in his hand kept flying, slashing towards Zhao Yuan like an antelope hanging its horns. Zhao Yuan saw the timing and used the active effect of the copperhead and iron back to obtain a 0.9-second indestructible golden body. Kang. The swordsman's mouth cracked, the long sword in his hand was broken, and at the same time, the anti-armor triggered the effect, and his clean white clothes were stained with his own blood. It's so strong. He's only a level 20 player, but he has more consecutive victories than me. Does this mean that he hasn't lost a game since he entered the arena? Zhang Fengwu spat out a mouthful of blood, but he still had more than half of his blood. If it wasn't for the internal strength of the S-level 9 Sun Scripture, I would have been instantly killed by the reflection of real damage just now. As the golden internal energy flame on Zhang Fengwu's body gradually boiled, his blood bar began to rise rapidly and soon recovered to full. Is this using the internal force attribute to treat injuries? As long as the internal force attribute is accumulated, it is indeed much more useful than mana. Zhao Yuan started drawing his sword to taunt, charged to the enemy, and smashed the huge round shield in Zhang Fengwu's face. The great teleportation of the universe. Zhang Fengwu slapped Zhao Yuan with a single palm, and Zhao Yuan couldn't control himself, and was moved out by a powerful invisible force, almost falling off the ring. At the same time, Zhao Yuan also suffered a lot of internal force damage, and the SSS level anti-armor took effect again. Zhang Fengwu was injured again. Even the bombardment with internal force can trigger back injury. What kind of perverted skill is this? Zhang Fengwu was about to surrender, but he couldn't fight at all. Even the plain sword in his hand was broken, and a 30-second taunting effect was added. The defense value is terrifyingly high, but with the percentage armor piercing skill, there is a chance to seriously injure him. But I don't have a percentage armor piercing ability in my current skills. There are people even more perverted than me. There are so many geniuses in my country. Zhao Yuan removed the taunt effect, and took the initiative to say, I'm recruiting a strong team of S-level ability users. The minimum requirement is to have an S-level ability. I now extend an invitation to you. Oh, Zhang Fengwu stood up with interest. Strong team. Are you the captain? That's right, I don't like mediocrity. I just want to form a team full of geniuses. After all, there are guild arms, and the small number of teams has no effect at all. Zhang Fengwu asked, you are only level 20, how many teammates do you have now? There are 4 in total, and one of them can defeat you. Is there anyone else who can defeat me besides you? I don't believe it. Zhang Fengwu shook his head. Seeing how frank you are, I will cut to the chase. I am indeed interested in joining the strong team you describe. But I don't trust you. But we can add a friend slot first. Adding a friend, there will be no harm. Okay, join my team, you can quit anytime you want. Zhao Yuan and the other party added friends. And we are in different towns. When we go to the state capital at level 30 in the future, we can agree on the location of the teleportation in advance so that we can meet up. Zhang Fengwu was indeed defeated. With his top-notch martial arts skills, it was even difficult to break the defense. By the way, I'm not a lone wolf player, and I have a teammate who is not much weaker than me. Zhao Yuan was delighted in his heart, and responded calmly on the surface. As long as you are an S-level ability user, you can join my team. But you will choose to assess me, and I will also assess you during the team formation process. If you have hidden evil intentions, I will not be soft. Zhang Fengwu waved his hand and said, "It's natural, but it's a pity, my 600+ winning streak has just ended like this, and I feel uncomfortable after some achievements are shattered." Then Zhang Fengwu chose to surrender, and Zhao Yuan won the duel. Buy one get one free. It's a good relationship, Zhao Yuan said to himself. However, you have to reach level 30 before you can join these two people. Just now, Zhang Fengwu's strength is very high. The swordsmanship is definitely at the SS level. I activated the indestructible golden body, and I was knocked out at 700 HP. There's also that fiery and thick internal force, wouldn't it be the famous Nine Suns manual? The ability to force me to move in the end, is it similar to Tai Chi? Arena information. Victory in the duel, 6,532 experience points, 3,396 skill proficiency points, *20 times 320 competitive coins, +1 winning streak. Zhao Yuan now has a total of 15,632 competitive coins, but his activity today is full and sleepy. Then I returned to the inn for the first time to rest. In Anping town, Zhang Fengwu and a petite girl were walking on the street. "What, there are players who can crush you?" the girl asked in surprise. Zhang Fengwu responded, "I have 3 S-level skills and 2 SS-level skills, all of which can only be crushed by him, and I have no power to fight back." Even the blue quality saber was broken. This shield defense player must have several SSS level skills to be able to be so perverted. He invited us to join his strong team. Judging from his tone, he also established a guild. The girl asked back, "So are we going to join his team?" Zhang Fengwu, "Look at it slowly, anyway, it will take a long time to meet at level 30. Zhou Heng said solemnly, "Everything is ready, don't give Wang Hansheng too much time, otherwise there will be variables." Li Sheng agreed. This Wang Hansheng has not moved at all for so many days, he must have secretly prepared a lot of trump cards. Zhou Heng said with a smile, "He is preparing his trump card, and I also have the corresponding means, but Zhao Yuan and his party have no news right now. He is definitely an SSS anti-armor, if he can kill him." Li Sheng said cautiously, "The risk is too great. You and I know the strength of the 4 Zhao Yuan, and there is a risk of death." Zhou Heng nodded and said, "That's right, the risk is too great. Even if all the troops are sent over with the Tiger Talisman, it may not be a match for Zhao Yuan alone. But if you can take all the resources of Yuxia, it may not be possible without a war." On the second day, Zhao Yuan came to the inn downstairs to buy breakfast as usual. The other 3 got up earlier than Zhao Yuan. "Zhao Yuan, yesterday I met a swordsman in the arena. He should have SS level skills. I have already added a friend and made an appointment to teleport to the same state city after level 30. Zhang Wen asked curiously, "S's level swordsman, player of ancient martial arts?" Zhao Yuan nodded and said, "It is indeed an ancient martial art. Internal strength is the most difficult to cultivate. His internal strength can already be manifested, and it is enough to cover the whole body. I guess it should be the Juyang Junjing. This Zhang Fengwu seems to have a round of internal energy in his body." Zhang Wen was very excited. "Sounds handsome, but I won't meet you until level 30. Zhao Yuan recalled. It was indeed unrestrained, the sword strokes were light and elegant, and the white clothes were spotless. Yun Ning tucked the black hair on her cheeks behind her ears and said, "Being defensive is a must. Even if he agrees to join our team, he has to be investigated slowly." Regional announcement. The Charm Blue Guild destroys the Forest Grave Guild station and obtains all the opponent's materials, arms, funds, and experience. The Forest Grave Guild has been disbanded. Mylan Guild has been promoted to the first level 4 guild in Qingyun town. Zhao Yuan said solemnly, "It started, this is the beginning of provoking a guild war." At this time, Zhou Heng used the speech prop to put his speech on top of the announcement channel of Qingyun town. "Dear players from Qingyun town, my Mylan Guild has been promoted to level 4, with a membership limit of 300,000 people. Everyone is welcome to join. By the way, it is best for you to speed up your application to enter the guild. I will start a guild battle soon. The guild battle can open the battlefield points. My Milan guild will definitely win, and you can get a lot of battlefield points rewards from it. Zhou Hang. Zhang Wen praised. Zhou Hang's hand is really good. He not only has to rely on the members of the old Huahu team, but also absorbs a large number of casual players. Yun Ning also added. Yes, casual players usually want to join these big guilds, but the upper limit of guild members is 30,000, so only players with good strength can enter these guilds. But it's different now. The upper limit of members of a Tier 4 guild is 300,000. In addition to the reward points of the guild battlefield, a large number of casual players will choose to join Milan. With a backer, you can also get points rewards in the guild battlefield, killing two birds with one stone. Xu Yushan also opened his mouth and said, and the more casual players join Milan, the greater the winning rate of Milan, which also dispels the concerns of casual players. How could there be so many people losing? Even if you lose, you won't die, it's just down one level at most. The actual situation is similar to what Zhao Yuan and the others analyzed. A large number of casual players joined the Milan Guild. In just over 10 minutes, 50,000 new players were added. Although the strength was very weak, the number of players was enough. However, there are also some cautious casual players who did not easily join Milan because Milan does not have a 100% win rate. These scattered players are all level 25 or above, and the punishment for lowering one level is very heavy. It takes more than 10 days of continuous hunting and killing of beasts to make up for it. Zhou Hang watched as the number of members in his guild increased from 60,000 to 120,000, and then the growth stopped, not including the members of Wahoo and Shangui. Zhou Hang took out a battle order and chose the Yuxia Guild. Regional announcement. The Milan Guild uses the Expedition Order, and the Yuxia Guild has no right to refuse to fight. The two guild stations will be teleported into the battle space, and the first party to break the enemy's guild crystal will win the guild battle. During the guild battle, the death of the player will drop by one level, and the attribute points will also drop. After death, the player can be resurrected from the guild residence within 3 seconds. The battlefield standings list is open, and the winner of the guild battle will distribute rewards according to the battlefield points. The 3rd level guild building of Yuxia and the 4th level guild building of Milan were teleported into the battle space with limited range. On the surface, Zhou Hang controls a team of 120,000 players, 150,000 griffins, and 50,000 stinging wasps. Just looking at the number, it has reached 320,000 units. Zhou Hang rode a level 20 blue griffin and spoke on the channel. Everyone, follow me to control the griffins. We will charge in one wave and destroy the enemy's guild crystals. This way the battle damage will be minimized, and we will charge. The strength of the 120,000 players was uneven. At this time, they all rode on the blue griffin and rushed to the opposite guild building. Wang Hansheng looked calm and sat on the high back chair in the guild hall. Vice President, Master President, are you in a hurry? Milan has absorbed nearly 60,000 casual players, and the old Huahu team is still hidden. Wang Hansheng said casually, these are all routine operations. I was shocked that Zhou Hang didn't upgrade to the 4th level guild, and he absorbed loose players. Wang Hansheng said in the channel, use the rotating giant crossbow to shoot down the enemy for me. On the city wall of the Yuxia Guild, stood 130,000 flame archers and 50,000 colorful tigers. There are also giant crossbows on the city wall, which are made of purple blueprints that Wang Hansheng obtained in previous battles. During this period of time, Wang Hansheng kept collecting materials, and finally made 10 rotating giant crossbows. A vice president commanded on the city wall, adjust the direction of the giant crossbow. It can be fired when it is 600 meters away. The enemy has joined the range of the giant crossbow. Launch. Zhang. 10 huge crossbow arrows shot violently, and near the arrows were fixed 2 whips inlaid with blades. With the high-speed rotation of the crossbow arrow in midair, the 2 blade whips were driven up, spinning out afterimages, and became a killer for harvesting life. Puff. A large number of griffins and the players on their backs were strangled by the blade and long whip into pieces. This is a purple quality war killer. In fact, it is used to smash the enemy's arrow rain, but the griffins can also be easily smashed. The units of the Milan Guild suffered heavy casualties, and the 130,000 flame archers on the city wall also began to attack. Zhou Heng smiled instead and said, "Sure enough, I knew that Wang Hansheng must be trying his best to prepare his cards. However, I deliberately sent them to die for the first wave of the rogue players. It's just the robbers." With the addition of a part of the griffins, the enemy's trump card was detected. Li Sheng said, "Let me lead the old Huahu team, climb the city wall, and destroy all these war machine crossbows." "Okay, you bring our dungeon wasteland reclamation team, plus Huahu's old team, and destroy the opponent's trump card in one go." Li Sheng was already at level 30, and he was considered a strong player in this level. He followed the regular swordsman route. At this time, he led 60,000 main players and 30,000 Huahu members who were eager for revenge. Zhang Kai said, "Even if I die 3 more times, I will destroy these war machine crossbows and let Wang Hansheng taste the heartache." Li Sheng, "If we join forces, there will be no suspense." The ending was obvious. The main force of Milan and the old Huahu team, carrying the purple spinning giant crossbow and the volley of the flame archers, also rushed to the city wall from the air. Zhang Kai even desperately destroyed the 3 rotating giant crossbows. Yuxia President Wang Hansheng commanded indifferently from the rear, "All arms retreat and enter the second line of defense. Turn on the defensive totem. This is our territory, Zhang Kai wants revenge. Still haven't suffered enough." In the open space of Yuxia, towering totem buildings have been established, and these totems can carry out coverage attacks on enemy units in the range. To put it bluntly, it is the defense tower. Zhang Kai was instantly killed by the totem building, and he was resurrected from the guild station 3 seconds later, and Li Sheng almost died in it. A large number of defense towers plus flame archers plus colorful tigers and guild members are extremely powerful, and Milan has suffered serious casualties again. Time passed by, and Zhao Yuan and the others also teleported to the guild building, joined the pterosaur army, and began to destroy the beast forces. Zhao Yuan opened the Tier 2 competitive mall. At this time, the price of a unit reincarnation symbol was 20 competitive coins. Zhao Yuan used all the 15,600 plus competitive coins on him to buy the weapon reincarnation charm, and he didn't even buy attribute points first. Because the price-performance ratio of the reincarnation talisman is too high, I purchased a total of 780 yuan, and there is a purchase limit of 1220. Consuming the arms reincarnation talisman, there are 780 more level 5 pale gold quality pterosaur cavalry. Then the pterosaur cavalry regiment took off and flew continuously according to the map hand-painted by the battalion commander. The pterosaur cavalry led by Zhao Yuan encountered a large-scale migration of beasts on the way, and the number reached millions. The battle is on the verge of breaking out. After level 20, Zhao Yuan, who has an SSS level copper head and iron back, can already be called Little Invincible, and he will take the initiative to fight against the Overlord level creatures. With the addition of the magic recovery halo, the pterosaur cavalry frequently used their dragon flame skills, and they were able to slowly polish off this wave of beasts with time without any damage in battle. In the guild battlefield, the Milan Guild suffered heavy casualties. Under the attack of many defensive totems, the affected players and units would be instantly killed. The vice president of Yuxia said excitedly, "The general situation of Milan is over, and many casual players have chosen to quit the battlefield after dying once. These casual players are not going to fight for Milan, they are just pursuing profit." Wang Hansheng also opened his mouth and said, "The whole cards of this casual player are useless, and Huahu's old troops have also fallen under the defensive totem. Milan's main force can only last for 20 minutes at most." The balance of victory seemed to be tilted towards Yuxia's side, and Milan's cards were all exhausted. But Zhou Heng's expression remained calm. "If you count the time, Shuji will arrive soon, right?" Li Sheng, "If they don't arrive again, I will die under the defensive totem." At this time, Shuji led the old team of mountain ghosts, starting from the rear of the guild building at the beginning of the battle. Since the battle space is a circle, the old mountain ghost team circled a semicircle, and at this time they have arrived at the rear of the Yuxia guild. Shuji said, "Brothers, remove Yuxia's guild crystal for me." Yuxia was flanked by front and back, and there was no defensive totem in the key rear, and the situation was reversed instantly. Unbelievably, Wang Hansheng walked out of the guild hall on his own initiative, and fought with the old mountain ghosts in the rear. Wang Hansheng. What's wrong with you, Shuji? I invite you to join my power. If you don't agree, it's fine. But your mountain ghost guild was destroyed by Zhou Hang. You were betrayed by Zhou Hang's dark son, and now you are helping Zhou Hang attack me. Shuji smiled indifferently and said, the cards that come out of nowhere will have a miraculous effect. You lose. If it is not in the battle space set by the system, the rear of the Yusha Guild building is backed by mountains, but after being teleported into the battle space, the rear has undoubtedly become the biggest breakthrough. Under Shuji's surprise attack, the crystal of the Yuxia Guild was destroyed. Until the last moment, Wang Hansheng couldn't figure out why Shuji would help his enemy. Wang Hansheng finally said, I have calculated thousands of times, but after all, the strategy is not right. I lost this game. Zhou Hang responded, human nature is the most complicated, deep, and unknown thing in the world, and you are still far behind. Regional announcement. Milan Guild has won the guild battle. Obtain all the guild funds, materials, experience, and arms of the opponent. The experience value of the Yuxia Guild has returned to 0, and it has been forcibly disbanded. Milan Guild members will be rewarded according to the battlefield points. The Charm Blue Guild got all of Yuxia's supplies, and at least they could produce 100,000 units of griffin beasts, although they gained a lot of experience points. But there is still a long way to go before the 5th level guild, whose upper limit is 900,000 members. The 4 of Zhao Yuan, who were clearing up the beast horde, saw the area announcement, and Zhao Yuan distractedly said. It was Zhou Hang who won. He successfully destroyed the other 4 major guilds and almost achieved the unification of Qingyan town. Zhang Wen was possessed by the Bone Demon, and frantically used Punching Fist, Blood Evil Fist, and Destroying Mountain Fist. Sure enough, Milan, who has the undisciplined player in Huahu's former team, won, and our protection period is only 2 days left. I don't know if Zhou Hang will do anything to us. Yun Ning analyzed. Zhou Hang has his own ambitions, but he can also distinguish between pros and cons. If he hadn't gained absolute power and was able to kill the 4 of us without fail, he wouldn't have shot rashly. Xu Yushan looked at his experience bar. He would be able to upgrade to level 20 soon, and said excitedly. Hey, if Zhou Hang dares to attack us, tens of thousands of light gold quality pterosaur cavalry will let Zhou Hang know what despair is. 7. Zhao Yuan fought alone against a level 35 overlord creature. The opponent was holding a steel fork, which was completely shattered after being bounced twice by Zhao Yuan's invincible golden body. And the skills of this overlord creature need to be released with weapons. Without the steel fork weapon, its combat power was suddenly reduced by half, and it was quickly killed by Zhao Yuan's counterattack. Boom! Yun Ning was shrouded in golden light, and she was the second to be promoted to level 20, because the quadruple halo shrouded tens of thousands of pterosaur cavalry. She can share part of the experience points of the creatures killed by the pterosaur cavalry. There are 3 cornerstone ability options in front of Yun Ning. Option 1. Speed Aura. Option 2. Su Nu Heart Sutra. Option 3. Experience Aura. First of all, Option 2 is excluded, which is obviously a skill of ancient martial arts. Between Option 1 and Option 3, Yun Ning chose Experience Halo without any hesitation. The player has obtained the SS level Experience Halo. Experience Halo LV1 SS level experience value gain plus 5%, centered on itself. All friendly units within a radius of 500 meters will be covered by the halo. A soft pure white halo centered on Yun Ning and spread out to the surroundings. The further you went, the thinner the pure white halo became. Zhao Yuan immediately checked his buff effect, and there was an aura that increased experience value by 5%. Level 1 increases the experience value by 5%, wouldn't level 100 increase the experience value by 500%? That's 5 times the upgrade speed. The key point is that this halo can also cover the guild's arms, and the upgrade progress of the pterodactyl cavalry can also be increased by 5 times in the future. Zhang Wen said excitedly, nice. Upgrading is really painful. With Yun Ning's experience halo, this painful process can be shortened a lot. Yun Ning. In fact, there is another option, the speed halo, but it is obviously not comparable to the experience halo. With 4 Zhao Yuan escorts, the pterodactyl cavalry corps has never been damaged in battle again, and with a horizontal push posture, it destroyed several nearby level 25 beast forces. The Charm Blue Guild has defeated the other 4, and is already the only big force. Zhou Heng used the guild materials looted from the Yuxia Guild to explode his troops crazily and piled up 100,000 blue-quality griffins. At the same time, Zhou Heng kicked the scattered players who chose to quit after dying once in the guild battle. These short-sighted players said distress-edly, "If I knew it would end like this, even if I die 3 times, I still have to keep fighting. I was kicked out by Milan now. If I hadn't opted out, I would have been able to exchange battlefield points for rewards." And those casual players whose level dropped after death and who were still fighting in the guild battle were accepted by Zhou Heng as guild members. Zhang Kai said goodbye. "I will not be inferior to others. After completing my revenge, I will establish the Huahu Guild again." None of Huahu's old staff remained, and all of them left with Zhang Kai. Shu Ji said to Zhou Heng, "I have paid off the favor I owe you, and my subordinates, and I will not stay in Milan any longer. But what I'm curious about is, won't hidden missions be triggered after unifying the entire town?" Zhou Heng shook his head. "There is also a second-level guild of deceitful soldiers, which is a tough nut to crack." Shu Ji smiled and said, "Indeed, although this deceitful brigade is only a second-level team with only 4 members, it is likely to be more difficult than Yuxia. Maybe I can watch another good show. You have run out of cards. How will you choose to deal with the treacherous soldiers?" After finishing speaking, Su Ji took the old mountain ghosts and withdrew from the Charm Blue Guild. Li Sheng said from the side, "The Guild of Deceitful Soldiers still has 2 days of protection. I just got a battle order from the battlefield point rewards, or..." Zhou Heng rubbed the magic book in his hand and said, "After deducting the soldiers who died in battle, and 100,000 blue griffins, we have a total of 200,000 griffins and 30,000 stinging hornets, which is close to 100,000 players. That's 430,000 units of combat power, but that's not how it's calculated in the ledger. These newly reincarnated griffins are only level 1. It will take a lot of time to raise the average level back to level 20. It seems that our military strength has increased, but the overall strength has undoubtedly declined. The blue arms at level 1 are almost useless, and many of our main players died once in the guild battle. Even if you get the reward of battlefield points, it can't make up for the penalty of level drop after death. In the end, there are these casual players. It is actually quite troublesome to manage them well. When time enters the night, the total attributes of the beasts in the wilderness double, and the occasional blood moon phenomenon will cause the total attributes of the beasts in the wilderness to double. After a day of fighting, Zhang Wen and Xu Yushan both successfully upgraded to level 20. Zhang Wen's luck this time was relatively bad, and what he obtained was an S-level bone mound skill. Although the level is S-level, the effect is very good. Bone Tomb LV1 SSS level summons a bone tomb to cover the target enemy, resulting in an imprisoning effect. Under the imprisoning effect, the enemy cannot move, but can attack. Level 1 bone mounds have a range of 25 meters, and can create a 5-meter-sized bone mound. This is a group control skill with a cooldown of only 3 minutes. At this stage, the only thing that can block Zhao Yuan for a while is the control skill. Zhao Yuan also lacks the ability to remove abnormal status, but the effect is not great. And Shu Yu seems to have acquired an S-level, modification and upgrading, skill, which can modify and upgrade mechanical products. For example, upgrading fixed turrets, mechanical tanks, and more importantly, a series of mechanical skills that Xu Yushan will acquire in the future can all be transformed and upgraded. Battle information. A total of 3 level 25 beast forces were destroyed, a wave of beasts, a total of 120 W guild materials, 20 W guild funds, 5 W guild experience points were obtained, the average level of pterodactyl cavalry was increased by 1.5 levels, and group invisibility symbols 1. Among them, the group invisibility talisman is of purple quality, which can make 800 units of creatures invisible. It is an additional reward obtained after clearing the beast horde. When normal guilds encounter this kind of beast migration, they will immediately choose to avoid it. Otherwise, the entire guild legion may be destroyed. Zhao Yuan raised his head suddenly, and he seemed to see a black shadow passing by, as if it was the figure of an owl. This figure is extremely fast, and there is a barrier of the protection period of the guild. Although Zhao Yuan is surprised, he does not care too much. The food cost of tens of thousands of pterosaurs in a day is an extremely terrifying amount. Fortunately, the pale gold quality pterosaur cavalry is extremely strong, and can easily hunt and kill to satisfy their own food. The cavalry on the back set the fire to thoroughly roast the meat of the fierce beast. Although there was no seasoning, the meat of some beasts was fresh and tender, and it was extremely delicious after being roasted. Zhao Yuan walked to the reincarnation pool of arms, consumed 120 W of guild supplies, and reincarnated 3,000 units of level 5 pterosaur cavalry. Now Zhao Yuan's command has a total of 13,877 units of pterosaur cavalry, and the highest level has reached level 12. Yun Ning looked at the purple quality mass invisibility talisman and said, "This item is extremely important on the battlefield and can carry out many tactics." Zhao Yuan nodded and said, "Yes, Zhou Heng is very resourceful. If you want to fight with him, you must open the cards he prepared one by one. But it takes time to prepare trump cards. Zhou Heng, who has just finished the guild battle, can be said to be exhausted. In fact, this stage is the period when the Milan guild is the weakest." Zhang Wen's eyes glowed, and he put a hand on his black head and said, "You mean, we took the initiative to provoke a guild war?" Xu Yushan agreed. "I think it is very reasonable. The protection period of the guild protects us from attacks by other forces. But even within the protection period, we can take the initiative to initiate a guild war against Milan." Zhao Yuan finally analyzed. "Yes, the more time you give Zhou Heng, the more difficult the cards he prepares. I also saw the discussion of the scattered players in the chat channel just now. This Zhou Heng actually recruited his own defeated general Shan Gui's old clan as a helping hand. From the very beginning of the guild battle, everything he did was to attract Wang Hansheng's attention. The purpose is to send the old ghost of the mountain to attack the rear of the Yuxia guild. This person is not only resourceful, but also bold in employing people. If you want to defeat him, taking the initiative to attack is a good choice." Xu Yushan guessed. "This mountain ghost president is called Xu Ji, right? Do you think this person has any mental illness? He was forced to dissolve the guild, and he helped others to attack strong enemies. Don't talk anymore, I'm going to the arena to test my new skills." Zhang Wen finally said. "Tomorrow, we will form a team for the second rank trial, so that we can get a lot of attribute point rewards." Zhao Yuan has also entered the arena. With a 700+ winning streak, he can get more than 300 competitive coins for every win. If it wasn't for the purchase of the weapon reincarnation charm, Zhao Yuan might have purchased all the attribute points in the second order mall, and bought the green wings in full. As the winning streak continued to increase, the opponents Zhao Yuan encountered became stronger and stronger. He was already matched with a level 27 player, but Zhao Yuan still maintained a crushing stance. Even if the indestructible golden body is not turned on, players below level 30 cannot break the defense at all. Of course, Zhang Fengwu's pervert, relying on the bonus of deep internal strength, has armor-piercing, burning, and maiming attributes. Zhang Fengwu can barely break through Zhao Yuan's defense. But the fanatic can recover in a second when he is passive, and in the follow-up competitive battle, Zhao Yuan focused on sharpening the opportunity to open up his golden body. Although as the skill level increases, the duration of the indestructible statue is likely to eventually reach 3 seconds. But it is only 1 second long, a prejudgment error, the enemy's attack has touched Zhao Yuan, and the golden body is not broken. Or the unbreakable golden body had been released, and the enemy's attack fell on Zhao Yuan. Even some players with high combat literacy will choose to stop the attack the moment they see the light golden halo special effect. Of course, drawing a knife and taunting can solve this hidden danger. I hope everyone will support it and subscribe more.